Hello, and welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. As you all know, I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander, and we have to get into this story. Now, I had no idea that this story was going to be as crazy and as convoluted as some of you had described to me. Here we are, okay? I really thought that we'd be glossing over this story, but when every single moment, it seems like more details about the story come out, and it's important that we really focus on this story in its entirety because we don't want it to turn out like Kanika Jenkins. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, if we don't want her story to end up like Kanika Jenkins, we all as internet sleuths, right? We're going to have to work together on this one. Now, there's going to be times where we're wrong, right? But there's gonna be times where we're right. We're right about a lot of stories. So, and I'm not just talking about myself, I'm talking about you guys, right? You guys are the internet sleuths. So you guys are the ones who help put the story together. You guys are the one who grab the information. You guys are the one who have proximity to sometimes these people. So it's really up to us. So let me just see who's all in the building. And I want to start off with, for those who don't know the story, which I think if you're my skin tone, lighter, a couple shades lighter, a couple tints darker, you probably already know the details of the story. But I wanted to really revisit this live stream. Now I understand, before anybody says anything, time out. I understand that this individual did not arrive till after the whole altercation began, but I have a lot of questions for him. And I need to get back into this video and we have to kind of break it down because there are a lot of statements that are made in here that don't make any sense to me. And I had to go lay down, figure out why, and I have a lot of questions. So let's see who's all in the building. I'm probably not going to get to all of you, so I just do my best. What's up, Jada? Hello, Shavita. Hello, Sweet Trade Star. Hello, Brianna. Hello, Walk to Me. I've never seen half of you people. Okay, hello, new people. Hello, KP. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, VV. This from VV. This is a thick ass question. Says, why do y'all think they are going to social media to tell their stories? I'm like, y'all should have went straight to the police. Period. Shaking my head. Plead your case on social media won't do a thing. You'll be shocked, VV. And I think that is probably the most excellent question that you have offered. You're new here, and I think that's an excellent question, right? So you already came out the gate. I could tell you're smart, okay? If you're still here. You would be shocked. You would be shocked. A lot of people run to the internet out of fear because sometimes when you're in a situation where you're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the police know. I don't know if this knows. I just want to clear my name. So you'll be shocked at how readily available people come to social media to express their declaration. So don't hold off on too much because people on social media, they're like, they'll do it. Who else we got? Oh my lord, it's a lot of y'all in here. What's up, Yada? What's up, SB? Hello, Danny Olive. Says because they scared they scared one wanna be in jail in Mexico. Well, it's a difficult thing, right? Mexico has an extradition treaty with the US. So if the United States says, hey, we'll take jurisdiction over because we have jurisdiction that was a US citizen, although she died on your soil, right? We want to take the case. But Mexico could be like, no, we'll take it. And in the United States, by all means, because we have that excellent relationship with Mexico, they could say, here you go. And they could turn these people right over to the Mexican consulate. And it's not going to be good because those are not the most cushiest jails you want to be hanging out in for the next 25 years. I promise you. Hello, Madam Bibbs. Hello, TC. TC says, but what did he say to them? Did he ask any questions? How could he not? I think he did the alcohol part to cover the crime after the fact, but did the autopsy show alcohol in her system? I don't think it did. And that's a fantastic question. It didn't show alcohol in her system. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, she died a day after she arrived. I'm not too keen on vacations since I'm too busy and I never take them, but I could bet my bottom dollar nobody goes to Mexico on vacation for a day. So if she had passed away a day after she had arrived, correct me, right? and there was 4 or 6 more days left of that trip, what was everybody doing? Was was they just kicking it while she laid in the morgue in Mexico? And if she did, correct? If she passed away and they spent the remainder of their vacation hanging out, why didn't they tell her mother so her mother could fly down there to come and see her? Correct? Hello? That's crazy. That's crazy. You mean y'all went and kicked it after she she had passed away? That's cold. And even if this you got it, right? And even if this gentleman came a day after, he still kicked it the whole time. He was still kicking it the whole time after she had passed away, and no one thought to inform her mother? Come on. So we got to revisit this. We have to rewatch this because now there's another question. Okay? So yeah, he's innocent. Right? Right. He didn't witness any altercation, he didn't do anything. He was free as a bird, right? Why are you still kicking it? Talking about you was giving her hot, warm towels on her head and playing Summer Walker, some of her favorite music while she cooperated. But you never thought to ask how she got all those knots on her head. And even if the friends lied, right? The friends were like, oh, we were drunk and she fell. Okay, that's understandable. But you still was hanging out after. I would have went home if my friend passed away on a vacation. I don't care how fun the vacation is. There's a dead body. Or no. Oh no. Oh no. Hello, Rashida. Rashida says, they getting their stories together. Child, they getting it together quick. This is from LaDonda. Hello, LaDonda says, don't forget to smash that like button. Don't be ignorant. If you're new here, don't be ignorant. Okay. Now we Black over here. We may talk with proper dialect in our voice, but we Black and we will say the N-word as many times as possible. This is from Tara. What's up, Tara from Facebook? Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Facebook. Y'all were the real MVPs for the last week. Y'all bringing the smoke. Okay. Now I know y'all probably was bringing all the hot tea years ago, but no one was paying attention to y'all because y'all so messy. Y'all know y'all messy. You're the messiest app. That's why nobody deletes you, because everybody wants to know why you kicked your baby father out on Christmas. Shout out to Facebook. This one, Tara says, this story got too many questions, no answers. This is sad, and I hope they go to jail in Mexico. Me too. Kathy said, just called alive. Thank you very much, Kathy. This is from Taylor. Taylor says, did they update the social media after her death? I don't know what social media she uses on a regular basis. If it's Facebook, I don't know. And the mother may have done it, but I know for a fact that she had not been using her Instagram page since March. So I'm not sure which social media account she uses on a regular basis. You guys have to catch me up to speed. I just caught about this story last night. I'm doing my best, okay? This is from Callie says, it's giving accomplice. This is from Bodala. What's up, Bodala? Says, there has to be more footage that led up to the altercation, the fight. Everything's really disturbing. Now, this is a great question because why is there no photos of them in Mexico? Are y'all listening? Hello, Black people and POCs and the white people who make their way in here. We enjoy you guys too. Where are the photos from Mexico? If they had remained there after she had passed away, right? Where's all the photos? Let me get some of your questions. This from Her Smile says, they had just arrived. Like, did y'all fight on the plane? This from Honey Buzz, and it says, no photos of Mexico at all. I know you. Child, no, I ain't seen none. This is from Unicorn and Dimple says, was this premeditated? What happened? We don't know. And that's what we're going to work out because the details are going to come out. But y'all know me. I'm going to do some sleuthing on my own because y'all know when I cover that Core Jake story, honey, I'm going to get to the back end of it because that's just how I work. This from Sweet Trade Star says, the girl is fighting is charging for interviews, and the one of the interviews will go live tomorrow on Twitch at 3 p.m. I think that was spam. You guys, you might have got had. I think it was spam. This from Tracy says, I'm late and don't know if this was said yet, but I have seen a photo that said that one that was she was fighting was a trans female. How is that a fair fight? Well, we don't know that. So allegedly, we'll go with allegedly. And we don't know that. The fair fight part, again, we don't know that. We don't know that. I gotta answer question A before I can get to question B. Does that make sense, Tracy? This from Veronica says, shouldn't the villains have some kind of surveillance? Shouldn't the villas, girl, I said villains, have some kind of surveillance? They do, but we're not gonna get that because we're not Mexican nationals. And so if it is, it's its own. If there is footage that was released, it was from some messy security guard in Mexico. And unless one of y'all speaks Spanish, I don't know how to make my way to the Mexican side of TikTok. You see what I mean? So I have no idea. We got to find messy Mexican TikTok to find those videos. I know for a fact they exist because we do it here in America. We do it here in America. We release all kinds of stuff the police be wanting. So I know for a fact messy Mexican Facebook definitely have a ton more evidence on this girl, but it's in Spanish, and a lot of us may not be able to read that. This is from Tavania. I hope I'm saying your name right. Says they was all there for a couple of hours after they changed their flight. And when did they return home? Tavania, do you know? When did they return home? They returned home the same day. They all came back the same day. This from Nosy by Nature. What's up, Nosy? Twin says, but because they had a private chef per Shanquella's mother the night before, I am sure they took pictures of that. Yeah, that's interesting. This from Helen. Hello, Helen. Helen got her whole name. Gone, Helen. Gone, girl. Says, this was murder with intent. Yes. This from Kelly Francis says, dude who was recording, it said, you're not going to fight back. And someone, I don't know if it was her saying no, it was her saying no. So a lot of people have questions on when the person who was recording or person adjacent to the one recording saying, girl, you're not even going to fight back. Whoop-de-whoop. And she was like, no, because you guys, listen, when people are in fight mode, they go into two different modes. They go to attack mode or they go into like defense. So I think Shanquella was stating in her head, this is my synopsis, that if I just don't do anything, maybe this person will let up. Does that make sense? Because it happens all the time. It's kind of like the fetal position. So I think that's what Shanquella's state of mind was in that altercation. Like, if I don't move, maybe she'll stop, but she didn't. And where's the rest of that video? We can't get links here. I'm sorry. I apologize. You'll have to email them to us. We are a media network. Just send us an email. If you go to our website, nosybystanders.com, you guys, this is a real media company. We have a tip line where you can leave a message. Email us to us. Don't put it in the comments. We'll never be able to click that. I'm sorry, darling. It's from Antoinette says, the fact that I'm eating tacos. Child, I got pork belly. Where's her phone? It's probably with the Mexican government, right? The investigators who are investigating her case. So they're going to have all of her stuff. Does that make sense? Unless somebody took it. I hope no one took it. I hope nobody did. So why no pictures? Great question. Let's get into Mr. This, guys. Let's get into this video because now I have questions. And before I click this video, I got one question for you guys because you guys are doing a really good job staying on the story. When did they go home? Does anybody have a definitive answer to that? I'm very curious about when they went home. Does anybody have that answer at all? Did they fly back home the next day or that same night? Does anyone know that? Actually, you know what, Stephanie? I can look at it myself. I can tell when he went home because he posted his itinerary. Hold on one second. What's his Instagram name? Hold on one second, you guys. I have to find out because I'm not going to be able to start this video until I know. Hold on one second. Here it is. I got it. Oh. No, he only showed the one way there. He never showed the way back. I should be able to pull this picture up so you guys can see it. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Y'all putting me to work today. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I think I got it. It should be in my MacBook. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll just put it in. I'll put it in my MacBook. You're gonna hear a couple of beeps. Ignore them. Just a couple of beeps. Okay. Because I want you guys to see this. Because correct me if I'm wrong, right? I could be wrong, and I could be just mislooking at it. But I want you guys to see it as well. I'm pretty certain. Okay, there it is. Let me share my screen, and just to see if am I crazy? Am I crazy? Let me blow this up a little. This is the best I can blow it up for you, but it says this is one way, right? Hello. Unfortunately, we can't take links in the chat. I can't, there's no way to click them, but you're more than welcome to email them to us. I'll leave my email up. So I'm sorry. And no, please don't put links in the chat. I just can't click them. And I really want to read them, but I really can't. There's no click. Okay. So how long was the trip? Well, we don't know. He only published the one way there. He didn't publish the one way back. So I don't know. I don't know how, when they got home. This from Tyler. Tyler says, I wonder if she was even on her flight. I wonder if she was even on her flight. She was in Mexico. If she purchased and didn't get on, she should have received notification from the airline. No, she never made it home. She died in Mexico. No, she never made it home. It's a spam. Block them. Oh, it's spam. Okay, sorry. Thanks, y'all. Because I was like, what is going on, honey child? Honey child, what's going on? Okay, thank you. I blocked them because I didn't realize it was spam. Please stop sending links in the bio. Okay. This is from, oh, I can't click that. This is from Tiana. I hope I'm saying your name right. Said the coroner's report claims she died 15 minutes after injuries, I believe. Right? Because remember, now the the hotel stated that they got a call from the villa from the guests. They did not get a call from the maid. They got a call from one of the guests who said that their friend was hurt. And the villa sent a private doctor there. The private doctor probably was like, she's not doing too hot. She probably passed away 15 minutes after the doctor said that. And then the coroner comes in and he calls the time. Remember, only a coroner can call the time of death. So the coroner probably came in and called her time of death. So that's probably what happened. So if the doctor got there, then she passed away in 15 minutes. Then the coroner gets there and the coroner's probably talking to the doctor. And it's like, when did she stop breathing? 4:45, example. Okay, it's called time of death. So 15 minutes. So if she was in an altercation, it must have been really bad. And according to the friend Nazir, he said when he arrived, they said she was already like that. So if the fight occurred, right, if he came a day after, then the fight occurred the day after they landed, not directly after, but the same day. So we're getting all these different accounts that, oh, it happened the day before Nazir landed. That's right. He came a day after them. He didn't come a week after them. He came one day after them. And he said that she was already messed up pretty bad before he had arrived, which means in his flight right here, it tells you he didn't land till 9:45 a.m. So if they were fighting her, they were fighting her at 8 a.m. the day of. I don't think so. You know what I mean? That would be wild. That would be wild. You know what I mean? That would be wild. And I'm pretty sure he was in communication with his friends, right? Like, y'all, I'm getting on a plane. I'm getting ready to board. Whoop de whoop, blase skip, right? Which tells me that They couldn't have been in an altercation that morning of his arrival because he would have heard it or somebody would have told him. Nobody told him anything. He just came in. He just came into town. So I think he was it was unbeknownst to him. You said he also stated they jumped her. He did state that. He stated it as an open sourced question. Like, did y'all jump her? Remember that? He stated that. So that's why I want to get back into his video because I know that he had arrived after the fact, but he was there and he's the only one who's spoken. And we can't just pretend that he didn't. So I'm sorry. This is from Kenny. Hey Kenny. Thank you for the super chat. Says also he also said he got there and was with her. But didn't the coroner's report say that she died approximately 15 minutes after her injuries? No way he didn't ask them questions. Yeah, because if he arrived there, let's say he got off of his plane. I'm sorry. Okay, he gets off of his plane. His plane departs at 10:30 from Dallas Fort Worth. I don't know what time it arrived. It said okay, he circled it. It's a 3-hour flight. So 10:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. So he would have got there at 1:30. The coroner's report stated that she had passed away at 3 something. So 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1. He was with her for only 2 hours. He 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 was only with her for 2 hours. He made it sound like he was with her for days until she passed. That's what this thing's are y'all reading this? You're reading this? This is from Nina Loves. Hello, Nina. I like your name. Says, but he knew what happened and left her, as is talking about he did not want to be stuck in Mexico with the other girls stuck in Russia, Brittany Griner. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This from Breeze. What's up, Breeze? Says, were they only celebrating Nazir's birthday with or others as well? Great question. And let me pull this up for you too. I have to pull something up so you guys can see it. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. I have to pull this up because this is what I found, and I found it rather interesting. Hold on one second. I got to pull up a TikTok. I know y'all love TikTok, and we have to watch it because it's going to make this story make a little more sense. Hold on. Okay, I got to go to this girl's account. I hope she didn't. Y'all don't spam her. I don't want her to delete her account. Okay. Okay, let me pull up this video. And I'm not going to play it with any sound because, again, copyright infringement. So let me stop sharing my screen. Now, that is a fantastic question, and you have to see this. I don't know if you guys saw it earlier today, but you're going to see it right now. So this is one of their other friends. She goes by the name of Joya Elise. And Joya Elise is in a TikTok video with some of the girls, and they go and frequent Mexico often. I think it's just it's just what they do. It's their friend group thing. I think that Shanquella is one of the girls in this photo, but since this was during the pandemic, it's hard to see which one she is. But she's definitely in this photo because these are her friends. And this is Mexico 2021. They went to Cancun. So yes, I think this is something that they do on a regular basis, like friends do, which is totally normal, right? You have a group of friends and you guys just constantly go on vacations together, which is also normal. But while combing again through her TikTok page, I was also able to find this. Here, this is her, Joya Elise, doing a TikTok dance with Dejanay Jackson. Dejanay is the one in the ball cap. These are her friends. These are her friends. She limited her comments because her comments were going. She had to limit her comments. When I arrived on her page, it was not a lot. when I came back, it was a ton. She deleted a lot, but yeah, these are her friends. So I think that they are frequent goers to Mexico. That's my personal opinion. I think that's just what they do very often. And to answer your question, which I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot your question, but this is what you need to see. This is what you need to see. Okay. This is what you need to see. Let me get to some of your questions. This is from Goddess Godiva. Said Dejanay, ma'am, we don't need to see all of that, but we appreciate it. Okay. This is from Jaleesa. I have to edit that out after the show. This is from Jaleesa. Jaleesa says he said he said she was over a toilet. So did they move her body to make it look like she was throwing up drunk? Well, if she was if she was beaten up pretty badly, I imagine that it could have made her violently ill. If I had to take a wild guess, I don't know. I don't know. That's why we're going to analyze this video. We have to. We got no choice. We got no choice, okay? So let me what was I going to say? Oh, let me hit play. Let me blow the screen up. I'm going to mute myself. So if you see my lips moving and you can't hear me, just spam the comments and be like, Steph, you're muted. And let's begin, okay? What's up, Blaze? You're absolutely 100% unequivocally correct. I know for a fact we didn't see all of the fighting. And if you're friends, which I don't think they are, and I don't think it was that kind of trip. I think a lot of people have this notion in their head that, oh, these are friends and they're best friends. I think it was more of an arrangement like a timeshare. And let me explain. I think it's like, because we showed you the history, they go on vacations together. It's always a different collective of them, but they always maintain to go together. I think it's like one of those type of party things, like you get to go for free. And if you fill the villa up, your night stay is free. So bring like 6 of your friends. It's like one of those things. That's what it feels like. It always felt like that. It never felt like a friends thing. It always felt like, hey, I'm just trying to get a free trip to Mexico. So I'm going to bring 5 people so I can get my night stay free. I don't care if it's just a group of 5 people, random 5 people I casually know, 5 people I went to college with, 5 people, I might work with one and one is her cousin. I don't really know her. I think that's what it was. I don't think these people actually in depth knew each other. They were like thick as thieves. I don't think it was that at all. Okay. And if it was like that, if it wasn't like that and they were friends, that is wild that you would fight your friend. But let's get into the video. Let's get into the video.
Because there was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. I instantly, as soon as I go in, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this is and what it looked like. But you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good. So I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart. I hope that I was there the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking. So we made it to the living room. I put on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting till the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming, and then a female showed up. So by that time, I skipped another thing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there. Yeah, boom. So it's like Okay, so when I get in there, I go in, I see Kula, I see she chilling, I put her on her side. I go out and make that video where I'm talking about I'm here, that I Kula get up. I'm thinking like, damn, we got stuff to do. ATVs, a boat, dinner. I missed the chefs, I missed everything. Anyways, fuck that. Um, so I'm like, damn, I'm thinking, Kula, let's get up. I say that in the video. Everybody can hear it. Everybody knows. Everybody that know me heard me say the shit. That was my first video when I got there. Or second, because I made a video of me pulling up to the villa. But he was cutting up the guy. I tried to get the timestamp for y'all, but that's not gonna work. So I guess the real FBI or whatever had to put those right timelines together. But I'm gonna start with the NCB. That faggot is so stupid and got y'all believing everything that's wrong. I was not there till the next day. I didn't see a fight. I didn't know it was a fight. I didn't know it was a video. I didn't know they did any harm, anything. I went in there and told it was alcohol poisoning. So that's what I helped her as. That's what I helped her at. I didn't leave her side. I cut on soft music. Summer Walker rubbing her head till the nurse came in. Nobody even talked about the nurse. Nobody even said a nurse came. None of this stuff. So I'm really not understanding where this story is coming from and why it's out here like this, because it's wrong. It's wrong. And for y'all to be attacking me, an innocent soul, like I'm really innocent as fuck. I went there to enjoy my birthday. Like to enjoy my birthday and to really just goddamn have fun. I didn't have not 1 second of fun. And take one shot and smoke one blunt, didn't do anything. I went straight to Quilla. She was not found dead. She was found unresponsive. Yes, unresponsive. She was unresponsive. I tried to get her to talk to me and all that, but it was none of that. There was none of that going on. Oh shit. Yeah, but other than that, I did. Oh yeah, I know y'all probably asking that. When I walked in there, I didn't really notice the knot on her head until the nurse pointed it out. I did see the bump on her lip. She did have a blood vessel bust in her eye, and and that's it. But I didn't really go in there like, damn, y'all jumped her, y'all beat her ass. What's going on? Like, could they know? Man, and nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to everything. I'm literally in there giving her my all. Like, come on, girl, we is 2,000 miles away from home. 2,000 miles away from home. Don't nobody deserve this. Don't 51 questions. Bro, why is y'all talking about boy did y'all kill y'all friend? I wasn't there. I don't have those answers for you from Friday to 3 o'clock when I got to Cabo.
Okay, so he's helping us put a timeline together. So he said from Friday to 3 o'clock, and we said that, right? Okay, so he got to Cabo at 3 o'clock. So Friday, we're going to have to pull up the itinerary. Sorry, you guys. This is the long-winded way of sleuthing. Okay, so bear with me. I have to pull up that itinerary one more time. Okay, so I need the date. Okay, let me pull up the date. I pull up a calendar. Okay, it says October 28th. Okay. Okay, now it says, when did his flight come in? Gate B. Okay. So the fight occurred on the 28th. How could they fight when they got there? Val says he's lying, trying to cover himself. Take all of them back to Mexico. You know the brute force it took to break her neck and spine. That was pure hate. And the blood vessel in her eye and her lip. Mm-hmm. Right. He jumping around too much. That's not an indication of guilt. That's more of an indication of it's, to me, I already know he didn't have anything to do with it but to me, it sounds like he himself is trying to put their story together. That's why he was like, he sounds confused because they confused him. That's what it sounds like to me. That altercation occurred on the 28th. They let her, they thought that she would be able to sleep it off. That's what they thought. But she was so bad. She was so bad that she couldn't sleep it off. And they knew it was bad. This from Taylor says, if she was over the toilet, how she get there if her neck and her spine was broken? I don't know if it was broken, you guys, or if it was I'm eating pork belly. That's why I'm picking my teeth. I don't know if it was broken or fractured. I gotta look at the. Hold on. Let me pull up the autopsy report. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on, y'all. Oh, I hope it's in this phone. Usually everything is in this phone. Also, I have two phones. Okay. Hold on. I need that clip. Oh, yeah, here it is. All right, let me see. Okay. Why is it not playing? Okay, hold on, you guys. I got to get it to play. I need to see it. Let me read some of your comments while it plays. Okay, here it is. Hold on. First, they told the mother that I just need to see it. Okay. This from April. April says, I agree. I agree. This man had nothing to do with this. Just because he's not as articulate as everyone else, he's not crying and everything, does not mean he's guilty. It's clear to me he's confused. Yes. And the reason why I feel as though he is innocent, because he's the only one talking. Because if I'm innocent, I tell you right now, I'm clearing my name. On my mama. Okay. OMM. On my mama. I'm clearing my name. I'm not about to be sitting. I'm not hiding with them. I need to know when they left. Okay. And I'm with you on that, April J. Thank you. This is from Adrian. I hope I'm saying that right. It says, he knew about it. I'm more than sure he was informed about what was going on. That's why he said, y'all jumped her. Interesting. This is from LaShawn. What's up, LaShawn? All from Facebook says, how do you have a big fight as soon as you get there? How do you have, it's just, how? LaShawn. Okay, I found it. Okay, hold on. She had a spinal cord injury, but not broken. And what's called an atlas laxation. All the nurses, I know y'all in here because y'all definitely nosy. What is an atlas laxation? Luxation, Lux. What is that? An atlas luxation is a condition in which an instability or an excessive amount is present between the two vertebrae of the necks. An instability or excessive movement. It says an atlas. It is usually an asymptomatic but may cause vague neck pain, occipital headaches, or occasional intermediate cervical spinal cord compression. So I'm gonna have to demonstrate what it looks like because I don't think it'll let me show you the picture, but it's like when your neck is jerked back really hard, and it's the way the x-rays that showed up, it's like when your neck is jerked back really hard. So that's what it looks like. It's like compression on the vertebrae of the neck. Oh God, it must have hurt. So in the fight when she was yanking her neck back, oh God, that must be hurt. Yes, a neck injury. Oh Lord. So she had a neck injury. It wasn't broken, but it was definitely injured. And she had so I don't know if that got in the way of her breathing. Oh Lord. She Snow, what's up? She Snow says, y'all, I know two friends that fight all the time. Literally, we grow up and they've been fighting since high school. We almost 30. Those are not friends. She Snow. I don't know if you know this or not. You said it appears she's naked. I don't know if the I don't think it said that. I don't think the autopsy report said that. At least there's no indication for me. But thank you for the super chat, Blaze. This is from Margaret. Margaret said it sounds like if they had told the truth about what happened, the doctor could have stabilized her. Yeah. If they waited 24 hours, right? Because he was arriving. So they had to do something, right? They had to do something. He was on the way. Had he not shown up, they would have just continued to kick it, left her in the room. You understand what I mean? She couldn't talk, which I feel like had to do with her neck injury. He said she couldn't talk. She's probably lethargic, all kinds of stuff. So I feel as though, I feel like because he was coming, they had to do something with her. You know what I mean? They're like, oh gosh, she's still not out of bed. Called a concierge. They full of it. And had he not shown up, they would have just went home. I promise you, they would. Come on. If he hadn't arrived late, they would have just went home and be like, we lost her. We don't know where she went, and buried her somewhere in Mexico. They would have never found her had he not shown up. So that was really her saving grace, where she was able to get her body sent back to her home and her family because he arrived. That is the truth. That is the fact of the matter. They would have gotten rid of her, in my personal opinion, right? This is only opinion, not fact, but they would have got rid of her had he not shown up. Or they would have just left her there and gotten to their plane and went home and like Tabitha Brown said, like that. Okay. This is from Jazzy Old Lady. What's up? Says, I keep saying they only called for help because he came. You know your people. You gonna break and tell. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is from Kimberly. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. This is from, is it Detrice? I hope I'm saying that right. Say, hey, nosies. A lovely one today says, that was the story in Charlotte when they came back. Mm-hmm. That's right. Chucked her somewhere. They don't care. They don't care. And you're absolutely right about that. They only called the concierge for the doctor because he arrived. That's it. St. Hudson said, it's a skin tone. It's a skin tone bodysuit that she was wearing. Oh, got you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat. This from Carr says, it was never a doctor. That maid found the body. That's not what the hotel said. The hotel said that one of the guests from the villa, the concierge did not say the maid called him. He said one of the guests from the villa. This is being reported from what are they called? WCBD out in Charlotte. They got a call. They got a call from the guests, not a maid. I don't know where that maid story comes from. He said that they told him the maid found her. That's what he said. But that's what they told him. Do you understand what I mean? It sounds like they're covering up their story because he arrived. Does that make sense? This from Black Summer, great name, says the chick Dejanay is now on the run since the video of her fighting Quilla has surfaced. She's scared for her life, and she stated she wanted to be interviewed by the Shade Room, but bailed because everyone is after her. Did the Shade Room report that? Or no? I want to know, did the Shade Room report that? Thank you for super chat, Breeze. We appreciate it. No, she was naked. Okay, she was naked. Bodysuit naked. This is from T. LaShawn says, at this point, sorry, I just learned what ATP means. I know I'm Black, but give me a break. Said, at this point, I'm glad he came because we probably wouldn't know nothing. Queen V, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Yeah, we probably wouldn't have known nothing had he not arrived. He is really her saving grace. He really is. This is from Just Me. Says, you guys, she was naked. She was, and she has a severed spine. No, it was according to the coroner, it was injured, not severed. It wasn't severed. There was a break, and it eventually caused her death. Just Bougie says, the mom said that's what they told her. The maid found her too. Exactly. But they said that. Listen, I'm not taking a whole lot of what's it called? I'm not taking a whole lot of um advice from these people. Okay. If they tell me something, we're gonna investigate it. Okay. I'll be like, oh, okay, the maid called? Sure. Let me dig into it because these people can't be trusted. Not him, right? Because he said the same thing. He's saying the same thing the mom said, right? But who told him that? A group of people who went missing, at least on social media, right? They all have privated their accounts. A group of people who are nowhere to be found to answer questions. So yeah, I'm more inclined to believe him and the mom and the hotel than I am to believe a bunch of people who were shooting videos of them accosting a woman. I'm just saying, okay? Who leaked the video? You know who probably leaked the video? The person they sent it to. So imagine this, okay? Let me play the scenario in your head and it's going to make sense. They're getting to an altercation, right? Obviously the people who are filming it don't like Shanquella. They don't like her. So they're shooting it cuz it's to embarrass her. And they send it to someone like, "Look at Shanquella getting toe up." That person probably leaked it. And that person's probably remaining anonymous cuz they're probably terrified. And they probably have more evidence. That fight video was only 50 seconds. That video is a lot longer, and you know it. And I know it, Courtney. Courtney, we both know it. Okay. That video is a lot longer. I think the person who leaked it was one of their friends, Kiki, back in North Carolina. Like, look at her getting toe up. That's the person who leaked it. That's who leaked it. October 28th. This is from Goddess Godiva says, it was multiple people taking videos and you see another guy in the video. That's right. There were tons of people taking videos. It was crazy. Let's talk about the things that we don't have, right? Because we talk about a lot of things that we got, right? We got his testimony, we got that one little grainy video, and a couple of stories from the concierge about who called them for help. What we don't have, which is unusual, is any video evidence that these people were on vacation. None. Zero. None. We have none. Even before their accounts went private, we still had none. Where is all of the footage on vacation? Who goes to Cabo and doesn't take one photo of a margarita? That's wild to me. That which also helps put the timeline together. That means that altercation occurred almost at touchdown. That's what it tells me. That's what it tells me. It doesn't have to tell you that, but that's what it tells me. It means once that plane landed and they got to that villa, they got to tussling. That's what it tells me. That's why we don't have any videos. And they probably were in agreements not to make any more either. Because it's going to look really strange if you're taking a bunch of pictures in Cabo San Lucas without Shanquella. And even if they did take photos, correct? They definitely weren't going to post them publicly. So I believe that this fight occurred exactly at, like they must have been tussling at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, where their layover was, arguing a little bit, bickering, being weird. They get to the villa, they all check in because they checked in, right? We have the manifest. We have the manifest with all their names on. They checked in. They checked in. So they weren't fighting when they were checking in because their signatures weren't scribbled, right? Their signatures weren't slanted. They all, in a uniform line, signed their names on that villa manifest. So we know that they arrived somewhere, right? In accordance to what they were doing. But something occurred. And it was very soon after they landed. And she was really badly injured. And this, mind you, this is a day before he arrived. So they probably just laid low, incredibly low on that one day because they knew he was coming and they had to get their story together. They had to. Let me get some of your comments. This is from Black Miss Frizzle says, they are running and hiding as soon as they realized that she was seriously injured. I bet that's correct. This from Nisha says, yep. And they knew they didn't like each other. This from Nicole. Nicole says, it's her trying to do an interview with the Shade Room. That's a spam account, you guys. That's not really her. That's not her. That's not her page. It's not. her page. It's not her page at all. I'll tell you what her real page is. Okay, we're gonna go back to TikTok. Okay, we're gonna go back to TikTok. And I think I can do it here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let's see if I can pull it up here. If not, you're gonna look at it on my phone. Okay. So this is what's her name? Joy. What's her name? God damn it. Joy. Remember the girl's name. Sorry, you guys. I gotta pull it up. I don't be knowing these people's name. Joya. Joya dot. Okay, so if you go to Joya's page, I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. Let me see if I can do it. Okay. I'm going to show you what her real Instagram account is. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this and we're going to get back to his video in one moment. Let me share my screen. I'll show you Dejanay's actual Instagram page. Okay. Don't believe any other pages. Believe this one. So this is her friend, Joya Elise. Joya takes a TikTok video with her and tags her. Thank God. This is Deja's real TikTok page. So this is the website. You're not going to be able to see it here, but I'm going to show it to you on my phone because it's going to take you directly to her Instagram page. Okay, one moment. Okay. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to blow my screen up and then you'll see it. So those other pages, please don't pay them no mind. So here is her actual let me correct it. This is her actual TikTok page, and there is her Instagram. When I click on it, it takes me directly to. 1 second. I don't know why it didn't take me. Did she delete her Instagram? No, this is her Instagram page, just this one. She has no other Instagram page but this one. And we know it's this one because she follows Nazir, and you can see his name below. That's Nazir. That is him. They follow each other. This is her page. This page has never posted that they were conducting an interview with the Shade Room. So any other page that you see that's not this one, disregarded. Okay, completely disregarded. This from Margaret says, did y'all see on TikTok the person she fought? You guys, we don't know if that is to be true. Remember, if a lot of you are new here, so let me kind of let me give y'all a little rundown when it comes to how we operate over here. So we don't want to get sued, not now, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. That's not our. We pride ourselves at being a Black media company that hasn't gotten a cease and. Well, we got two once. We got two once a long time ago, but we've never been actually formally sued. Here we use a scientific method when it comes to applying all that data to the story so we can get to the truth. We've done it several times. You can check all over our YouTube, our TikTok page, all over. Okay. We've covered stories all the way from all stories. Just look at them. We do some digging. Okay. We even found out what Wendy Williams was doing before she published it. That was us. So we apply the scientific method here. We do not say things infallibly and as fact until we can prove it. So I know that there's a narrative running around that Dejanay is a trans woman, but we don't know that to be true. So even if she was a trans woman, that has nothing to do with the story. She still accosted someone and killed them. Her transness, her being trans has nothing to do with the story. Has nothing to do with the story at all. That's it. Except maybe her and Shanquella wear the same makeup. That's probably it. Okay. But there's nothing about her being trans that has anything to do with the story. I don't care. I know a lot of you are going to try to argue strength. I don't care about that. You don't know if this trans woman was on hormones, which that's a whole science. Okay. And I'm not going to get into that because I'm not a biologist, but her being trans allegedly has nothing to do with the story at all. Even if she still fought her and you want to argue strength, there were still people recording. I'm more concerned about the people recording and not helping her than her friend being trans. I could care less about that. But again, that's speculative. And you cannot, without a shadow of a doubt, put anything in the chat or even get recognized by anybody in any of our social media platforms if you say things as fact without evidence. Okay, so we do use a scientific method over here. I'm a literal pretend scientist. Okay, so let's just, if you can't prove it, just don't worry about it. Just be like, Steph, this is what I heard. Can you look into it? I'll do my best. Okay. That's how it is. I promise you I'll do my best to look into it. And I always get back to you and tell you, I don't know if I can find any evidence on that. So we're just going to say allegedly. Okay. And that's okay. This is from Kathy says the pictures of her being a man are Photoshop. She was in the same clothes. Yeah, that's probably it. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So we don't care about her transness. It has nothing to do with the story because she was, even if they were, why were they recording it? And why was no one helping her? And it was still a fight. So I'm more focused on when the fight occurred and when they left. When did they get home? That is my question. When did they touch down in their respective cities? That is my only question that I am going to comb the internet for. I don't care about nothing else. I care about when they got home. Because if I find out that that girl died on the 29th, okay, and they stayed in Mexico for 5 more days and had fun, I'm going to be really sick to my stomach. And I know a lot of you are too. Okay, I know a lot of you are too. This is from LaShawn says, hey, LaShawn. This is from Kelly. Hello, Kelly from Facebook says, Brenna Jackson sent it to my inbox. Sent what to your inbox? Can you, full sentences, please, Kelly, sent what? There's just way too much ambiguity in this because we don't know what it means. What's it? This is from Pretty Mickey. It says, I feel like the entire trip was a setup. None of the witnesses are speaking, and they knew what was going to happen. They knew what was going to happen from the jump, possibly premeditated. You'd be shocked by all of these. Now, do you guys mind if I play around with this theory in my head? Okay, so they book a trip to Cabo, a very expensive trip, okay? Whether you guys want to believe it or not, it's quite expensive. They book a trip to Cabo San Lucas. Or Cabo, Mexico. I think San Lucas is in the St. Croix. So they book a trip to Cabo, Mexico to set up a fight? What would be the purpose? And I'm not, when I ask that question, I don't mean your question is ridiculous, but I want to play with this thought. Because it felt like a setup. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It did. It felt like she was sent there to be attacked. It made no sense for people to be fighting and your friends to not be breaking it up. It doesn't make any sense at all. It felt like a setup. The question is why? Why not just do it in America? It's cheaper. Unless it was personal. Yes, you can, because we have a close relationship with Mexico. We actually have an extradition treaty with Mexico. So yes, you can. You could definitely be charged in the US. And harshly, because the State Department has this case. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but the State Department has weighed in on this case, and they are waiting for the official autopsy report to be sent to them because they're going to be looking into it because there's a US citizen died in foreign soil. So yes. So here's my thing. It felt personal. Do you think it had to do with a man? Do you think it had to do with like a boy? Because it's out of the states, harder to get evidence, easy to get rid of. You do. You do think it was over a man. I think it was over a man. I think it was over a man. She was fighting like she was fighting like Shanquella. She had found Shanquella's text messages in her man's phone. That's what that fight looked like. This is from Brenna Jackson. Hey, Brenna. It says, do you want to hear the recording of Nasir being caught up in lies, Nosy Bystanders TV? He said he wasn't there until after, but how did he give her CPR then? What recording? And send it. We're nosy. Send it to us. I want to hear it. It's our email. Send it to us. It was mine. Send it to us. We're nosy. We're incredibly nosy. Okay. Yes. So yeah, because first he stated that when he got there, she was already really out of it because apparently the beating took place on the 28th. So if she was already really out of it, right? Then if she had like not come to, then he probably did give her CPR. It would make sense. That makes sense. So I don't think he had anything to do with it. I don't. What's up, Wu Chow? Says, why was Shanquella nude? I'm thinking she was caught off guard too. This is too much. Yeah, it is. It is. I feel like it happened like after maybe a pool. And if they got into a tussle and she was wearing a very stringy bikini, that's the only reason I could think why she'd be nude, you guys. That fight was pretty, you understand what I mean? It was pretty intense. So it makes sense that they were just they were just ripping her clothes off and stuff. Does that make sense? A real one says Quilla wasn't fighting back because there was something she might have felt guilty for and wanted to mend whatever relationship she had with the person hitting her. Yes. 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 This. I have chapstick on my forehead. This. I like this hypothesis. And if you don't mind, real one, I'm actually going to steal it from you. I'm actually going to steal it from you. I oftentimes do lean onto you guys to build a hypothesis, but when we continuously ask our questions out loud, it helps you guys build it. But I like this hypothesis. It's a really good working one. That fight was definitely over a man. It wasn't over money because everything was paid. It wasn't over clothes because it just wasn't. It wasn't over hair or she took her got to be glue spray or whatever it is y'all be using. It wasn't over that. It wasn't over her. They just got there. Just say what I mean? They just got there. And immediately that fight ensued. I think it was over a man. I think it was over a man. I think it was over a man. I think it had to have been. It's just giving very much man. You stole my man vibes. Hold on. I'm going to just steal this real quick. I like this hypothesis. I took a screenshot of it. This from Black Summer says, it was said she was getting out of the shower and Deja exchanged hurtful words, and that's why she was naked when the fight started. Allegedly, but I like that too. After a shower. I'm feeling all these man vibes. This is from Bryant. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Just correct me if I'm wrong. It says, and then that's why they were mocking her, saying fight back. Yeah. It said she was coming out of the shower and that's why she was naked. Okay, and that makes sense, and I can agree with that. That doesn't matter. That does not matter. Why she's naked has nothing to do with it. Okay. I don't think it has anything to do with the story. It's weird that she's naked, but it has nothing to do with the story. How it started is everything. Was it a setup? Was it over a man? Maybe a man back in the States. You know what I mean? And Dejanay found out about it. Was it over some slight disrespect at the airport that enraged Dejanay? You understand what I mean? And what time did the fight occur? Well, the sun was up. Those are the important questions, not the nudity. I don't care about the nudity, okay? I care about why it began, because then it's going to help us build the rest of the story together. The next portion of the story I need to know is, when did they go home? When did they arrive home? And had they not been a bunch of cowards and blocked all their social media, we would know when they touched down. One of them, who goes by Winter Donovan, was an avid Twitter user. She used Twitter all the time. We would have known like that when they got home. So, this is from Kenny. Kenny says, seems more and more like a setup. It does. This is from Goddess. Goddess says, does the villa check-in have videos? No, we don't need the check-in for the videos. We have the manifest. The manifest we have, and they probably do have videos, but we'll never get those, you guys. I promise you. If you come late, I'm telling you right. If you come late to the chat, I'm telling you what I said earlier in the chat. The only way you're going to get video surveillance, because it was in Mexico, is if some messy person who works security in Mexico took those photos and videos and put them on Facebook, but you're going to have to find them on Mexican Facebook. I don't speak Spanish, so good luck to you if you want to go find them. But usually, guys, because we're here in America and we're messy, they messy everywhere around the world. There are plenty of people who are like, oh, this story's trending on in America. I'll work there. Let me go check the security cameras. And you've seen those security footages where people got their phone up and they're playing the footage. So it kind of looks wonky, but you get the full shot. You're going to need somebody who works at that villa who's incredibly messy, but they're going to be on Mexican Facebook. Okay. And that's exactly where you're going to find those videos. You're not going to find them here in America until somehow one of our good Mexican cousins translates it and gets it over to us. We're never going to find it. I have no clue where that video would even be, but I know for a fact it's probably floating somewhere on the internet. This from TC says, I want to know who invited her because I bet her mom asked who you going with. I think it was a recurring thing. We've discussed, if you guys arrived just now, we discussed earlier another TikTok user who's friends with these girls and guys went to Mexico with them last year. I think it's a thing that they do as a friend group. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe Mexico's just really cheap and affordable to get to, and it's a great getaway. I don't know. But there is evidence of them in Mexico last year in Cancun. So I think it's a thing that they do on a regular basis. But it seems like it's always an assortment of them. It doesn't seem like it's the same cast of characters every time. So I wonder if this year they were like, hey, let's go to Cancun. Actually, you know what? Give me a second. I got to look something up. Give me 1 second. I just had a thought. Let me go look at something. When was this video taken? It was taken in April of last year. Okay, so they went to Mexico April of 2021. I wonder why they went to Mexico in October. I guess it's the end of the winter. This is from Desiree. What's up, Desiree? Says, I don't think it was a setup. I think it happened. There may be an altercation or an argument before the fight and the flight. Could be, but it just seemed weird. Why are you filming these are your friends, why are you filming them fighting? You don't think that's strange, Desiree? Like, that's what makes it feel like a setup, because friends don't do that to friends. If that was my friends fighting, I'm breaking it up. You understand what I mean? Why watch and film? You watching and filming. This is from Copper Dragon. It says, I only think her nudity is important because of the fact he said a lot of things that led me to believe they answer Quilla, Mary have burn show Gilmore Girls Enterprise. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I got the first part of your statement. I don't know what the latter half of that statement means. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Copper Dragon. I want to know what it means. I don't know what that means. I'm going to try to read it again. I only think her nudity is important because of the fact that he's saying a lot of things that led me to believe they answer send Quilla. And then it says Mary have burn and shown Gilmore of entrepreneurship. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. So if you want to rewrite it, I promise you I'll reread it. But I don't know what that last part means. I don't know if it was a copy and paste from somewhere else. This from Natasha, and I apologize. But good efforts. This from Natasha says, according to a close family friend I spoke on live on TikTok earlier, the trip had been booked since around May. So there should be interest in all of their text records since then to see if they were. That's incredible. That's good. Do you know what their name is on TikTok, the family member? And if you do, let us know. And if you do, just email it to us. Okay? Just email it to us. Email it to us. This from Brittany says, I think someone was envious, maybe even jealous, and they probably turned nothing into something just so they could lay hands. I think the others behind the camera were minions, other mean girls. The mean girl effect. The mean girl effect. This is from Life of Virgil. Hey, Virgil, how you doing? Or Virgo, how you doing, Virgo? Says, this new age of people film everything instead of helping. Ciao. Can we investigate if this was you? Oh, my mama, we investigating that. I need to know what they was fighting for, honey. I need to know. I got to know because we know. Hello, we're nosy. If it was over a man, honey, I gotta know. I have to know. I need to know why y'all was fighting, and I hope it wasn't over no hot comb. I hope it wasn't. I hope it wasn't over something dumb like I saw you wearing my sandals on the villa. I hope it wasn't anything stupid. I hope she didn't die for something dumb like that. It better been over something of substance. Okay. This is from Nita says, we don't care if Deja was trans or not. It is the it is the principle. Correct. We do not care. Her transness has nothing to do with this altercation, them lying to him and her parents. Has nothing to do with any of that at all. Because even if the person was trans, so what? No one helped her in that fight. No one helped either of them in that fight. They recorded it. This from Desiree said, this generation has her phone on record 24/7. It's scary. You and I are different. We would jump in if we would stop the fight. This generation thinks it's funny to record everything. Not that I wouldn't say that in general, because not everyone's like that, but it's a whole lot of them. It's a whole lot of them. And I agree, Nick. I agree, Desiree. Nikki says, I know one thing. No one is gonna be beaten on my friend like that, and I'm just standing there recording because that's not your friend. Which makes me believe that no one there was her friend except him. If he found her, if he found her, he said she could barely speak. She was alive, but she was like barely there. And so he said he was taking care of her. That was her friend. And the sad part about this story is that they didn't arrive there together, because I don't think that he would have allowed her to get into that altercation and not broke it up. I don't think so. So that's the sad part of the story, that she was the only one there with no friends. Isn't that crazy? She was the only person there with no friends. Wild. That is so wild to me. Could you imagine? This is from Teresa says, Dana, we should have sent that MF up. Who's Dana? Dana, I don't know who that is. No way you hit me like that and I don't beat your butt. That's what makes me think it was either two things: guilt, like being caught doing something and kind of just taking the lashings, or um, a sense of defense where you just kind of like, if I stop moving, maybe they'll just leave me alone. You understand what I mean? Kind of like the fetal position, but in a different position. That's what it makes me feel like. It's either two things. She either this crud. You know how long it's gonna take me to put this back in here? So yeah, that's what I think it was. But that's everyone has a different fight or flight response. Everyone has a different one. This is from Nina. What's up, Nina? Says Khalil was her best friend and he was there. No, he wasn't. No, he was not. No, he was not. I'm sorry, he was not. He was not her best friend. Whoever reported that is lying. He was not her best friend. He was not. Someone said, "Oh, this is her best friend," because there's probably pictures with him there. He was never her friend. And he watched her take a thrashing like that. He was never her friend. He was just another person taking pictures with her for a number of years, okay? But definitely not friends. So I don't want to ever use that word around. She had no friends there. She had no friends there. She had people who she known, probably their first and last name and phone numbers, probably knew where they lived, Those were not her friends, you guys. Those were not her friends. I'm sorry. So we're not going to, they do not get the title of best friend, BFF, I don't care. They don't get titles like that. So when I say she had no friends, I mean that as a matter of fact, because your friends do not let you get accosted like that and then do not take you to the hospital when you stopped responding. So he was supposed to be something to her, but he was really nothing. Okay. He was really nothing to her. He was just another soul that sometimes on occasion she went to brunch with, but he was never her friend from jump at all. He was never her friend from jump at all. He just was just around. Does that make sense? Okay. This is from My Help Comes From God. Says maybe she didn't want to fight naked or felt the other girls would jump in. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If she had just gotten out of the shower, she's vulnerable, right? She's trying to cover herself. You got people recording you naked. Those were not her friends. Shanquella came there alone. She came there alone and she passed away alone. And that's the sad part, that she went on a vacation, that she didn't have a sense of discernment about people's, right? She didn't know that these people were bad company. And that's really the sad part about it. She said, run them lights up. Don't be ignorant. That's right. That's right, Teresa. Teresa says, right. Because I'm getting a MF friend help. That's right. That's me too. Me too. So those people do not get titles of friends. They were just soulless bodies in the same villa as Quilla. That's it. Nina says, they said he would have dinner with her family often. That's weird because he didn't like her. So I wonder why he did that. It's obvious he did not like her. So why are you breaking bread with her and her family? You know you don't like her. I guess keep your friends close and your enemies closer. We got to get back into this video, you guys. I know you want to keep chit-chatting. I know y'all do, but we got to analyze it because he might tell us when they went home, okay? I'm read one more of your comments and we're going to get back into it. I know it's going to be a long live stream. This is from Nina. Nina says, but I agree. He was never her friend and they set her up. That's right. I don't know why he was eating with her. Like, you don't like her. Why are you eating with her and her family? That's a weird thing to do. Brianna Jackson said, email it to her. Who is Brianna Jackson? Email what to her? So much ambiguity. Is this, I hope this is not spam. Email what to her? Email what? Email what? Email what? What? What am I supposed to be emailing? Tell me. Inquiring minds would like to wonder. What? What? Brianna has been trying to get you to see her comments. Okay, let's try. Okay. Okay, here's Brianna. There we go. Brianna says they called him on the phone and he got to explaining everything. I have his flight info also. He said he made it at 4, but his flight info says 12 p.m. and she was pronounced dead at 3. Nosy Bystanders TV. Can you send it to me? Did you send it to me? Can I check? Do y'all mind if I check my email? Better not be spam. What is this? Oh, y'all all emailing me. Okay. There's no email in here. What is this, honey? I don't have an email. You didn't email me anything. I don't have an email, Brianna. I need your email again. Okay. Okay, I didn't receive an email. But there's my email for the world to see. So I could play it. If it's something of substance, I'll play it. My pork belly got cold. Just take a screenshot. Oh, this rice is cold. For everyone who's saying that they tagged me, I can't change this screen because they won't see my email, but I see that. I will check all of my, I have a lot of mentions. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm gonna check them all today. I'm gonna check them all tonight, okay? Okay. Okay, I think that's long enough, and I think she might have it. I hope you screenshotted it. I would like to get to some of the comments. So I'm gonna turn my email. Actually, you know what? Hold on one second. There you go. Look at that. It will email ticker. I figured out how I never did this before. I feel like a lottery. I feel like one of those people who reads the Ohio lotteries. Okay. I'm gonna read one more comment that we have to get into this video. Okay. Brown Delight. What's up, Brown Delight? Says, I know darn well this is the largest number of folks in this live. There's only 49 likes. Hit that like button, y'all. Elbow cough, elbow cough. Y'all really gonna do me like that? I know I'm new to you guys. I know you guys, a whole lot of you never met me before. My name is Stephanie. I go by Chief Nosy Bystander because you gotta have a chief. I have a background in research and analytics, so I do really good when it comes to internet sleuthing. And a lot of the senior nosy bystanders in the chat, they can vouch for me. They know I'm pretty decent at what I do, so I'm good. I don't want to say solved a number of cases, but I've come to a lot of really precise conclusions to a lot of cases that always turns out accurate. And so I've got a resume for it. We don't ask for much over here at the Nosy Bystanders. We ask that you give us all of your opinions. There are no moderators, so you can say whatever you want. I promise you, no one's here to boot you out unless you're a spam bot. And all we ask you to do is just like. That's it. It's not a whole lot. That's my speech to you. We're gonna play this video.
I just don't have them answers. I posted my flight itinerary. When I got there, I can't make that up. I can't. I really don't know what else to do but show y'all fucking the real tickets if I could even find them when I landed and didn't land. But I could post the video. I could show the video. It's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m. I made my first video at 4:26. That's me outside by the pool. Shanquella, get up, let's go. We got stuff to do. Let's go have fun. There was no fun in that. There was no fun in that. There was nothing good coming from that, man. I went in there with my bag, put it down, went to the game room, went to the living room, stayed there. The worst time of my life. And now y'all on here trying to say I killed her. Me, the nigga that got there a day late. The nigga y'all didn't see in the video. I have 1,030,000 tattoos. Do I sound like I was in that video? Go listen to it again. Do you hear my voice in that video? Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is really stupid. The bitches is stupid. The old ladies, all of y'all are stupid. I don't care who's after me because I have all my timestamps. All that shit y'all talking, y'all just talking out your ass out of hurt because y'all listening to social media. Nobody. I didn't know nothing. They didn't tell me nothing. Crossed my heart and hope to die on this Bible right here. I don't know nothing. I didn't sit and make no alibi. I didn't even have time. I got there an hour later. The nurse came in the door. The nurse came in the door. Try to help Quilla, try to put some salines in her, but her energy, she didn't have no electrolytes. Her oxygen was low, so she couldn't find them. Y'all don't understand what I went through. Y'all don't understand. Y'all won't understand. So y'all keep posting my address and all that shit. Y'all have fun. Y'all have fun. Y'all know y'all hurting yourself. I'm not hurting you. I ain't even finna go back and forth on this shit. We're not gonna have people watching my page when I go. I didn't know about none of that. Like, I didn't know about none of that. We're trying to do this to me. You don't even know the full story. What else I gotta say? I really think that's it. I'm really not giving y'all too much because that's all I had to say. Like, I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know about no video. I didn't know about none of that. Like I didn't know about none of that. And I wouldn't sit here and lie to nobody. Like they already knew not to tell me because the person that I am was not letting it happen. Everybody was fighting me right there. We all banging it out because what is y'all doing? 2,000 miles away from home, from family, from safety, from rules and regulations. Now you in a different state, putting your lives at risk and jeopardy and mine. I walked into something stupid. Now I'm looking like a bad guy.
Did you hear what he said? He said, now I have walked into something stupid. Now I look like the bad guy. He said, what are you doing 2,000 miles away tussling? What are you doing? There's no way he knew anything about what he had walked into. And they were scrambling to get their story together before he had arrived. I want to know when did they go home? When did they arrive home? Why did he only send us when he got there? Why didn't he show us when he left? I do believe him. Because who wants to be wrapped up in something? You see what I mean? I don't want to be wrapped up in nothing. I'm with him. Y'all, he said, what y'all doing fighting 2,000 miles away? You fighting in a foreign country. You might as well just smuggle something. If you're going to fight, it's the same difference. So I believe him. He said, I believe him, and I'm sorry. I am too. I am. I didn't catch his story before, so I didn't realize people were putting it out there that he was one of the accomplices. I didn't know that, but I'm glad that I came to the story now because what the heck? You understand what I mean? And this from Ebony Wright says, I think they liked each other, especially since he said he put a soft music and started rubbing her head. Yeah. He was just a really good guy friend, a straight guy friend, a good straight guy friend. This is from Truth Speak says, this generation, social media is serious. He is fighting social media. He is fighting social media. Can you explain? I believe him as well. They are going to go to jail, Tiffany. Yes, they are. This is from Black Summer says, he's more worried about not celebrating his birthday and getting lit with Quilla being unresponsive. No, I think it's the whole thing because when it comes to death, people will conceptualize that differently. So, you know what I mean? Like you can't just be like, oh, he must cry on cue when he talks. He didn't have to do that. You don't know what he's doing, right? We only seen one video from the guy. And yeah, he also came out there for his birthday. So he's disappointed in a lot of stuff. He's disappointed that they're fighting in a foreign country. He's disappointed that his friend is unresponsive. He's disappointed that he didn't get to celebrate his birthday. Yeah, he's rightfully so. He spent a lot of money and none of that stuff should have happened. None of it should have happened. So even if he is focused on his birthday, he's also focused on his friend passing away and him having to witness that. So you can't just be like, oh, he cares more about his birthday. Yeah, he should. It's his birthday. Could you imagine your friend dying on your birthday? I would tell you I would tell you when my birthday is, but that's private. But I had a famous person die on my birthday. I haven't been able to celebrate my birthday in years. So it sucks. And you're probably like, oh, but what about the dead person? Yeah, I'm sorry they died, but they also died on my birthday, which means that every time it's my birthday, people want to mourn that person, that very famous person. And no one cares to go out on your birthday because that famous person died. So yeah, he's rightfully so. He'll never be able to celebrate his birthday again because his friend died on it. That's terrible. That's a terrible way to go out. Okay, it's a terrible way to go out. This from Brown Delight says, they need to put all of them in jail now. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Let's get back into the video because I think he's almost done. And I'm going to skip past a lot of the parts where he's just swearing. We don't have time for that.
I'm just gonna leave it right here. I really don't have too much more to say. Y'all either don't believe me or y'all not. Run with what y'all want, screen record it, save it, watch it over, interpret it, see if I was sincere, really genuine. But I'm tired. I'm fed up. I haven't slept. I don't know. I have to look over my shoulder because I don't know who's back there. Like, this shit is stupid. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. And I'm not even going to address the tough guys, man. That's because if you knew me, you know that's not me. That's not my heart. My heart's so pure. I'm not confrontational. try to end everything before it gets to something like that. Come on, bro. You don't do that 2,000 miles away from your house, bro. You don't do that. You don't do that. I have the most respect for Miss Robinson, Quilla, everybody. Like, y'all welcome me with open arms. Listen, heard me out, all of that. I didn't feel like anything was a problem. I respect that, and I want you to get justice for your daughter. I want everybody to get justice. I want everybody to stop hurting. Don't nobody deserve that, especially not to die 2,000 miles away from your family. It's not fair. It's not fair, and I say it every day. I say it every day. I think about it every day. It's not well. I can never forget. Y'all won't let me forget because y'all think I'm responsible for it. But I just don't understand why. And y'all don't have everything. Y'all don't have timestamps. I didn't sign that guest list. First of all, oh yeah, that the guest list that my name is on. Go try to find my signature. Hold on, where's my ID? Oh, fact. My ID. Is my signature on here? That's my password. Anyway, I don't know. Let's signature not on there. Let's somewhere in there. But I didn't sign it. And the only reason why my name was on there because you had to have your name on the list to get past the gate. If your name wasn't on the list, they would not let you up to your villa. So they signed my name, they printed my name, and signed my name, which is not my signature or my print. That's the only reason why I'm on that list. That's the reason why I don't have a phone number there. That's the reason why it's not my fucking shit on there. That's the reason why I'm the last one on there. Like, come on, bro. I gotta make shit make sense, bro. Do your own research. Stop listening to that bozo. Me and breaking my heart, goddamn, that I had to goddamn go hide because I didn't do anything. I walk now. That's on you. Stop commenting on my family shit, mentioning my it is, bro. It's really way deeper than what y'all think it is. I'm just gonna leave it at that, bro. Take what you want to take out of.
What did he mean by that? It's way deeper than y'all think it is. What did he mean by that? That means that it was a setup. Allegedly. Allegedly. Mm-hmm. This is from Gorge Yara? What's up, Gorge? Says someone was on FaceTime during the fight. Go back and watch the video. Look on the corner when the boy says, "You're not going to fight back." I saw that. I did see that. And yes, thank you very much for that, Gorge. This from Nini says, I read her autopsy said that had noticeable facial injury. She did. She had a lump on her forehead, a burst blood vessel in her eye, and a busted lip. So yes, you're correct. I'm late to the stream, but did he mention that he thought what happened aside from the alcohol poisoning? Did he thought what happened? I don't think so, but you might have to watch the stream from the beginning to see that, but I don't think so. This from Goddess says, they put out all of their info. Social media is ruthless, but check the white circle at the bottom of the itinerary. It says SJD to Dallas, but the date is hidden. Okay, let me pull the image back up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, you guys. I gotta zoom in because I can barely see. SJD to Dallas. No, it says Dallas Fort Worth to SJD. It doesn't say. I don't have anything that says SJD to Dallas. I don't have that. So if you have that, can you show it to us? But I don't have that. I'm sorry. Mine is only there. Mine is not back. So I have no idea when they came back. But if you have that image, can you send it to me? This is from Kadra. What's up, Kadra? It says YNV. Oh, that's to YNV. This is from Adrian said it was planned and he knew about it. The whole trip was to humiliate her. I don't think he did. I think that's what he surmised, which is different. I think that's what he surmised after he talked to everyone, and they probably were all giving him weird conflicting stories, and that's probably what he put together. Like, I think this was a setup. That's what he was thinking. Think about it for a second. You come into a trip and one of your friends is out cold and busted. I'm not going to sit here and start asking people weird questions because what if they do it to me? I'm going to just be like, oh, the maid found her? Okay. That's all I'm saying. I'm with him. The way he sounded is like, I'm not doing nothing crazy overseas. He says that a few times. I'm not doing anything crazy 2,000 miles away. I could bring that home. Okay. So him probably not trying to ask too many questions with a bunch of people and a dead body. Okay. Let's just be for real. We're black. You know, we're not going there. And not no foreign country. So he probably was like, I'll get the stories when we get home. You know what I mean? And when he started hearing from them, probably texting them and calling them, like, yo, well, so what happened? Da, 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 da. And they're all giving him conflicting stories. He's probably like, it's deeper than that. That's what it is. That's what I think that statement he made is referring to. I don't think that if you were in a villa 2,000 miles away from your home and there's a corpse on the ground and it's just you and the assailant, you're probably not asking a whole lot of questions at the time. You're probably not. You're probably not. Whatever they tell you, you're going to believe. I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm hyper paranoid. So I'm just like, I'm just like, not you plugging yourself. I'm just saying. This from Brenna says, Brenna, you said they was jealous of her. This was a setup. That's why they fought so fast when they made it to the room. She had all the businesses and they did not have all of that. They probably think she act better than them or something, and they didn't like her. And it was that's what I believe. That's what I believe. Nosy Bystanders TV. Hello. That's what I believe. Absolutely. Oh, she did? Okay, let me check my email. I didn't get anything. Oh, wait, I did. Hold on. What is going on with my email? Hold on. Okay, let me share my screen. Hold on one second. All right. I don't know what that's doing. Okay. Hold on one second, you guys. All right, I got it up. Okay, what is this? So this is what looks like his arrival time and his ticket. Am I correct? And then it's a text thread. Okay, let's read through the text thread. I don't know who he's texting, but it says you got there at 10:30 a.m. It says she passed away at 3 p.m. It's kind of hard to not say you wasn't there. He says she didn't pass away and no darn 3 p.m. o'clock. Do the math. How the F did I get there at 10:30? And that says departed, meaning leaves, not arrival. Are you kidding me? He's right. He's right. It's a 3-hour difference from Dallas Fort Worth to Cabo. And not including time zones. I don't even know what the time zone difference is. The person replies and says, I have her death certificate and you can explain all of this to the FBI. If and when the FBI clears you, we'll straighten it out. And why didn't you come forward? Come forward to who? Who are you? Interesting. And then that's where the conversation ends. Why don't they tell you? Oh, this is her death certificate in the corner. Got you. Why is he not telling us when he went home? When did he get home? That's what I'm interested in. I want to know when they left. I want to know when they left. When did they leave Cabo? Why won't anyone tell us that? Like, when did they leave Cabo? When? I want to know if they was partying after her death. I want to know that. They left on the 29th. They left the same day. They left the next day. Are you sure of that, Her Smiles? Not a whole lot. No one does. No one does. You should check your other email. For what? I only have one email. The other one is just a boarding pass. That's it. The other image you sent me, Brenna, is just a boarding pass. It doesn't tell me when they left. And thank you. I appreciate you sending that to me. This from Patrice says, they said the weekend was cut short, so I assumed the next day. Okay, so they got home right away. Okay. Which would have been the 30th. So they got home before, so they spent Halloween back in the States. They didn't think to call her mom. I mean, I can't believe they just left her body in Mexico. That's crazy to me. This is from Kathy says, so he has talked to someone. That is why he asked who you are. Someone had probably reached out to him through his DMs. This looked like a DM, and he probably was like, who is this? Looks like Instagram. He's probably like, who is this? It's probably a random person. This is from Liz. Liz says, you beat a naked woman half your size who doesn't ever put their hands up in defense, probably because the blows were so back and think it was an accident. It definitely was not an accident. No. This from Hollywood Next says, I thought it was the next day as well. Okay, so let's just synonymize, synonymize that it was the next day. Okay, I'm okay with that. This is from Courtney says, they called her mom and said alcohol poisoning, even though they had just arrived and it didn't look like anybody had anything to drink. In the toxicology or the coroner said there was no alcohol in her system. So they knew there was no alcohol in her system. Be for real. And this is to them, not to you, Courtney, but be for real. They know she wasn't consuming any alcohol. They know that she wasn't. It's from Joy. Joy says they called her mom, but they probably was not able to bring her back to the US because there's a policy and procedures on how to transport a dead body internationally. Yes, but they could have called her mom to come to Mexico. Her mother paid $6,000 to have her body transported. I think if the incident, occurred, if it was just natural, alcohol poisoning, they should have called her mom. Just be like, she's not responsive and let her mom fly down there. But they knew what it was. They wasn't trying to bring her home at all. They was just trying to get out of there. A few weeks later, so the coroner has to conclude his report, and toxicology takes a couple weeks. So it came a couple of. Her funeral isn't it this Saturday? Her funeral. They just got her body, you guys. So I think her funeral is this Saturday, this Friday or Saturday. Her actual memorial service, wake. The repast. That stuff y'all be going to. Her repasses and stuff. I think that's this weekend. Okay. And I believe that's what her mother said. This is from Teresa. Teresa says, if you pay attention to the video, it looks like that fight happened early that Saturday morning as the sun was, didn't it? It was very sunny, but it was like yellow, like a navel orange sunny. I was going to say that too. Thank you, Teresa. It looked very early in the morning. So it either happened in the morning when he arrived or the morning when they arrived, which is crazy because they only been there a day. That's right, Brandy. That's right. Her funeral is Saturday. Thank you. Courtney said, set up, leave the body. I really don't trust Naz. His temperament was good, but I trust him. I do trust him. I do. But I'm with him on it. When he says it's a lot deeper than that, it's because you guys, it's for his safety. These people, it's not funny, but these people beat the living daylights out of a woman. And he was there, not like there at the time of it, but he was like there with them. So he's like, I'm looking over my shoulder. He's probably terrified of these people. He's like, I don't know these people. I don't know what they're capable of. So he's probably like, it's deeper than that. So I think Nazir is waiting for the police, the FBI to call him so he can drop all the tea. He's not about to just be letting that stuff loose on the internet because he's probably terrified of these Neanderthals. Because that's how they're acting. They're acting like a bunch of Neanderthals, right? Literally. They literally did. I'm not If I got something, no, and they're all loose and he don't know where they're at. Oh no, I'm with him too. He's probably in fear for his life. He's probably in fear for his life, and rightfully so. He was in a room with a bunch of murderers and murder accomplices. I mean, allegedly, but he was, and so he's probably like, he's probably just scared, which he should be. Her smile says, not only that, but now his name is connected to her and her story is gone. Could you imagine the sheer fear this man must be in? Not only were you in the room with the people who did it, but the story has gone viral. Yeah, he's probably terrified. He's probably hanging out at his people's house. He's probably not even at home. And I would be terrified too. I'd be terrified too. Come on, let's be for real. I would be terrified too. This is from YNV. What's up, YNV? Says he could have been terrified, but he should have told the true story when he touched U.S. soil instead. He did. He did. Now, according to him, he said he talked to her parents. He talked to her parents. So they know what's up, because he is, if you watch the interview with her mother where she does on WCB, the local Charlotte news station, her mom tells the same story he does, almost to the T, which means if the mom and the friend who arrived a day later are telling the same story, it's because someone gave them that story. I believe him because his story lines up exactly like the mother's story does. Exactly like the mother's story does. And the mother wasn't even there. So him and the mom probably are telling the truth, right? You said, what story? That she had alcohol poisoning and the maid found her. That's the story they told him, Nazir, and that's the story they told Quilla's mother. So I don't believe that he's lying. He's withhold. I think he's just scared. That's why he's like, look, this story's a lot deeper than y'all think. But he's scared, which makes sense. Yes. They're true. I've said this countless times. And it's because of reality TV. The Nene Leakes and the Cynthia Baileys and, all of those reality show women, that I'm here to tell my truth. I hate that. You're here to tell a lie. Because if I hear someone tell me, I'm here to tell my truth, you're about to tell me a lie. Okay? You're not here to tell me a joke. You're here to tell me a lie. That's what you're here to tell me. Just say, I'm here to tell the truth. There should be no your truth. It should just be the truth. Okay. But you're right, Bougie. They told their truth. That's not what I meant. Yeah, it's what I meant. But exactly, I hate that when people are like, I'm here to tell my truth. Girl, you about to tell me some lies. So spit them out real quick so we can get the ball going. Okay, spit them out real quick. We can just move on because we know you lying. So I know for a fact that Nazir is telling the truth because her mom told the same story. Her mother ain't got no reason to lie. She wasn't even there. So I think Nazir is telling the truth. I think he's just terrified. That's what I think. This is from Hollywood Next said, what coast time for the Shade Room? What? Y'all, we don't deal with the Shade Room over here. No shade, but we don't mess with the Shade Room over here. I'm sorry. We did an in-depth story on the Shade Room. We do not mess with Shade Room. So you're going to have to ask somebody else. We don't mess with the Shade Room. We don't mess with anything that they touch or any proximity to it. The Shade Room is incredibly allegedly dirty media company that I don't touch or talk about. The Shade Room is straight propaganda. The Shade Room is definitely in bed with the Potter's house. And if you want to know the story, you're going to have to just come back to a different live stream, honey, because we did a story that went crazy viral over the summer about the Shade Room. So we don't touch the Shade Room. The Shade Room ain't got no love over here at the Nosy Bystanders, period. Okay? So I apologize. I don't know the time zone. You might have to look it up. This is from, is it Naima? Says, not that girl fighting her in the vid. She going down. This is from Mika Meek. Says, that's the story she was told, which was a lie, and he wasn't telling the truth. I do believe he was telling the truth. I do believe that. I believe that. You should look at the other photo in the email. The other photo in the email, I did look at it, and thank you again. It's just his itinerary. It's only a one-way flight. It's not their return flight. So it's no there's no basis for it. I understand he arrived when he arrived, but I believe his story. I do. And thank you. No shade to the shade room. We don't mess with the shade room over here. So premeditated? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's very hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't know. But we're working on it. We're working on it. Is it pronounced Elisa? Elisa, I hope I'm saying that right. This is from Dana. Who Dana? Such a thick comment. You can't even see my face. But we appreciate it. Okay. This is from Dana. Dana says, I think her injuries got worse over time. The deceased tried to shake it off, but couldn't. She probably spoke to her mother after the fight. No, she actually didn't, because they stated that she had the neck injury, which caused her an inability to be able to speak. So she definitely didn't talk to her mother. Her mother also stated she only talked to her one time. It was the day she arrived, and she told her mom she loved her and goodbye. So her mom stated she only talked to her once, but I'm going to keep reading. So then you say, but young kids don't want to worry their parents. By the time he got there, her injuries were very grave. If they say alcohol poisoning, he could have believed that. You're in Mexico. Who doesn't drink on vacation? Great point, Dana. Great point. All of that, great point. And yes, I do believe everything else, but I wanted to add that anecdote because her mother said she only spoke to her once. And according to Nazir, she was not even she could not even emote. So yeah. Hello, David. Late to the party. This is from Brenna. What's up, Brenna? Says, I'm sorry, Brianna. Says, it says he's arrived at 12, but she died at 3. How he wasn't there? No, he was there with her. He stated that, but he was not there for the altercation. That's what he said. He said, I didn't see the fight. I didn't see anything. He didn't know anything until he got home and that video went viral of the fight. So he stated, I didn't see none of that. And I believe him because it occurred the day they arrived. That fight happened on the 28th. I don't think it happened in the morning. It could have happened in the morning before he arrived. He did arrive in the afternoon. So it's possible the fight happened that morning, but I think her injuries were so bad that I think it would have taken hours for them to set in. And if the fight happened at 8 a.m., I guess by the time 3 o'clock or by the time 12, no, he arrived there at 1:30 because his flight was 3 hours from Dallas to Cabo. But I don't know the time difference, so 2 hours back. So he left Dallas at 3:30, says it's 2 hours back. So 12, 10, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. So if you go 2 hours back, so he got there at 11:30 a.m., 12, right? Okay, so 12. He arrived at 12. So he arrives there at 12 and she died at 3. That fight, it's possible it took place in the early AM. If you look at that video, somebody stated in the comments, it looked like it was bright and early in the morning, and it did. So the fight could have happened anytime between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is 4 hours. It's possible, but I feel like it happened the day before. But that's just my synopsis. I don't have all the details. But great point. This is from Tavanya. I hope I'm saying your name right, Tavanya. Says, I think the fight happened on the 29th in the morning. Her mom said she spoke with her and the private chef was preparing tacos for dinner on the 28th. You're right. Her mom did say that. Her mom did say that. She did say that. So what happened that morning? Because she was nude. So it falls in line with her getting in the shower in the morning to take a shower to get ready for the day. So you're telling me they fought at the wee hours of the morning? That's crazy. Over what? Do you think something happened at dinner that something happened after she got off the phone with her mom for dinner? They had some cocktails and April said they pulled her out of her bed. That's also possible. We don't really know if she took a shower. That's only a hypothesis. You're right, Asia. Says something happened during dinner. Yeah. Because they woke her up early in the morning to beat the brakes off of her. They woke her up early in the morning. They did that before he arrived. And they were all sober because it's in the morning. There's no way they were consuming alcohol unless they stayed up all night drinking, but I don't think so. I think they woke up with that rage. Wow. Give me a second, you guys. This is like every time we put a piece of the timeline together, just like, it's a lot. It's a lot to conceptualize. It's a lot. Right. There was no alcohol in her system. I don't think there was any in theirs. So you're telling me they woke up in the morning to fight this girl? That doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. Let me get some of your comments. Jazzy old lady says, the call was made much later after the fight. The hotel nurse is basing death off the call, not when the fight happened. I know that. I understand. I get that. Where's her phone? No clue. No clue. This is from Blanca says, in Cabo, at a young age, it's like Vegas. It's known to stay up all night. I don't think they stayed up all night. I don't think they did. Not when you just arrive. You're very tired after a flight. So I feel like their first night, they kind of just stayed in the villa and chilled. That fight happened in the morning. So when he arrived, he says she was alive, but she wasn't responsive. She couldn't talk because her neck was fractured, which I think was because it was yanked back. If you look up the injury, it has to do with like a yanking back motion, which you could tell in the fight. And he says she couldn't talk, but she was alive, but she was probably like, you know what I mean? She was probably like she was on the brink, She was probably making noises like moaning or something. That's what I think happened. She was very much alive, he said. She probably was blinking, but she wasn't talking, he said. When he said he got there, she was not talking. She was dressed. No, she was not dressed. This from Mrs. J says, they probably was fighting her all night until the early morning. Now, that's a possibility. That's possible. That's possible. They looked like they had been tussling for a while by the time we saw that video. This is from Brenna. Brienne says, if he came that late, then why he trying to give her CPR? He was there. Listen to the video that I understand that. I don't okay, let me just try to clear this up for you, Brianna, because you continue to ask the same questions. So I don't think you quite understand. So let me lay out the timeline for you so you can understand it. So you can put him to rest. Okay. Because remember, he was not there for the fight. He does not have a time machine. I'm sorry. I know you want to conceptualize him having one, but he doesn't. He was not there for that altercation. Okay. He wasn't. Her injuries are not lethal unless they are left unintended for hours. Okay. For hours and hours and hours. Think of me along. Hours and hours and hours. Even if he arrived, there's no way that those injuries that she had sustained, right, would have been, there was no way. The timeline doesn't work. And I know for a fact you want it to work, right? I come across a lot of people like you on a daily basis who want their theories and their bits of evidence to work, but you can't work the evidence. to fit your hypothesis. If it doesn't fit, it just doesn't fit. I'm sorry. It means you have to go back to the drawing board to re-surmise your hypothesis. That's all you have to do. There is no way, even if he had arrived there sooner, right? Her injuries, her injuries were too, she was too far gone by the time he got there. Okay. So I just want you to understand she was too far gone by the time she wasn't even talking by the time he got there. Okay. He said he gave her CPR, right? Because she was already in the last stages of her death. And if he noticed that she had stopped breathing, he would have given her CPR. There's nothing wrong with that. That actually fits in the timeline. So you're going to have to stop trying to work what you have to fit change your hypothesis. And then your evidence will lead you to your conclusion. You're trying to make your evidence fit your hypothesis. Your hypothesis is not working. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to go. And that's just listen, it happens to us all the time. I am wrong often, but when I'm right, I'm right. But I always rework the hypothesis. That's just what you have to do. You cannot get so caught up in thinking your thinking is correct that you start to manipulate the data to fit your hypothesis. It doesn't work that way. Your hypothesis does not work. I am very sorry. But we're going to help you, and we're going to help everybody else in here figure out what it is, because that's what we do. We're the nosy bystanders. We dig. Now, when we dig, we dig. So your hypothesis doesn't work. We're going to make a new hypothesis work. You're just going to have to go back to the drawing board like everyone else. He is an eliminated character. So you're going to have to just take him out the equation. And you're going to have to start working in some other characters, because there are other people who were there, other people who witnessed it, and other people who have recordings of it. You're going to have to take him out of the equation. The only reason why you're really focused on him is because he is producing evidence. And the evidence looks good, but it doesn't look good when he has nothing to do with it. Okay. So I'm sorry about that. I appreciate you trying, but I'm going to teach you how to do it. Right. So what you need to know is your evidence, good, your hypothesis, bad. So you're going to rework the hypothesis till you get to your conclusion. Okay. This is from Miriam says, I'm with her too. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. We don't know anything of right now. We're all trying to find out. Precisely. We can't make the data fit our narrative, even if we wanted it so bad, right? You want it so bad, but you can't do that. I definitely can't do that because I can't get sued. So you just can't do it. I know it's crushing. Trust me, there's scientists that'll tell you sometimes I get that equation. It just doesn't fit. And they want it so bad they can taste it, but they know for a fact it's not working. I'm going to rework this hypothesis till it works. Okay. That's all. Okay. That's okay. And that's okay. This is from Shay. Shay says, I think the nurse was called treating for alcohol poisoning because they gave fluids for her. Correct. You said, so they thought that she would rest it off. They went off to dinner, and that's when the maids find her dead and calls 911. Think about it. It came back to ambulances and a dead body. Now, as some of your parts of this theory are good, but remember what the concierge says. The guest called the downstairs for a doctor, not a nurse and not a maid. So you got to go based off of what the hotel says, because the hotel is the one who has nothing to hide. They have nothing to hide. They got nothing to lose, right? They're going to always work with authorities because they want to make sure people know that their facility is safe. I believe the concierge said the guest, they made that clear, called us for help. Not a maid and not a nurse. The guests called him. And the guests called because when he arrived, she looked bad. That's why. They should have called the concierge hours ago. But when he got there and he was like, I'm giving her, I'm rubbing her head, I'm giving her water. She's not talking. Y'all call downstairs. We need an ambulance. When he got there, because I promise you, they would have never called for help had he not arrived. They would have never. They weren't going to call when they did it to her. So the guest called the concierge, not a nurse and not a doctor. Them. And they weren't going to do it until he arrived. And he was like, oh, she is worse than ever. But the rest of your synopsis, yes, yes. This from Mika says, why would they sign his name without him so he can get in? So he stated in the call, they have to sign mine. You have to be on the manifest in order for them to even let you into the building, into the villa. So they had to sign his name. They probably like, we have a friend, he's coming. We're gonna sign his name on the manifest. He was there, and it worked, right? Because he was there at the villa. So him signing his name to the villa isn't anything nefarious at all. There's nothing nefarious about it. He paid for his portion of that villa. He has every right to stay there. So there's nothing weird about that. Mika again says, how can she drink water if she was unconscious? Not drink water. Not drink water, but I mean, like, I'm playing out a scenario, you guys. Don't take everything I'm saying for fact. Don't take everything I'm saying for fact. Just take it in that he was taking care of her. Okay. Spacious Grace says, you're protecting this dude. LOL crazy. Oh, you guys are definitely new here because you'll be shocked at how many people we over here we protect. And then we're right. Listen, you may not like how we work, but you can ask any of the old nosy bison. We're pretty damn accurate. We're pretty accurate. We are. Okay. It's just how it is. We said the same thing about Bishop Whitehead. That flashy, I talk about this story all the time. That flashy pastor from Brooklyn who got robbed for $1 million worth of jewelry, and everyone said that he did it. He didn't do it. You know how we know he didn't do it? Because of the grand jury indictment. Because of a grand jury indictment of 2 additional suspects who the police had in custody, who didn't drop the dime and said that the pastor made us do it for insurance money. That's how we know that. We got chewed up for filth, but we were right. You're not going to like the synopsis over here because it's the truth. We're not the Shade Room. We're not Hollywood Unlocked. We're not the Neighborhood Talk. We're not Lovely Tea. We're not Gossip of the City. We're not Tasha K. We're not going to say stuff to make you feel better. We're going to tell you the truth using the scientific method. I'm sorry. Because if these other blogs did that, they wouldn't get sued so often. So sometimes the truth hurts. Okay? Sometimes it just hurts. That's right. We were right about Nosy Latruth. We were right about Mr. Latruth. If you don't know who Robert Hampton is, Mr. Latruth. We said he was the actual victim of that altercation with his wife. We were right. He was. He was. You know how we know he was? Because Brianna admitted it. So sometimes you gotta work the evidence, but the truth comes out, okay? And you're not always gonna like it, but it's the truth, okay? The truth shall set you free. This is from Truth, not Truth Speaks. Says, I think people think Nazir is one of the other 2 that were in the hotel. There is a collage floating around of all the people who were on the trip, and Nazir came a day later. Yes, because he's skinny. He's got a little bit of facial hair, so people think he's one of the other guys, which he's not. He actually isn't. He is not. He is someone else. He even tells you, he said, I have a deeper voice. And he said it in the not so nice way, but he's have a deeper voice. Those men you heard on the video are effeminate. They have a softer voice. That's not even me. I believe him. You know why I believe him? Because he's telling the same story her mother is telling them. You know why I believe him? Because if he arrived a day later and the altercation happened in the wee hours of the morning, the same day, they should have already called the hospital. Why did they wait till he got there to call the doctor? Because they got caught. Because they got caught. The doctor should have never. They didn't have to wait for him to arrive to call a doctor. They was hoping she was going to shake it off. But he arrived and she was bad. That's how you know he had nothing to do with it. Okay? It's just that simple. If he is guilty, then why was there a doctor there? They didn't need one. They could have just went home. They could have just continued the trip. Why, when he shows up, all of a sudden she gets a doctor? Wouldn't it make sense if there was no doctor called? Then I probably think he was guilty. If there was no physician that arrived, physician, nurse, whatever, I probably think he was guilty. Like, oh, he's guilty. He's definitely guilty. But a physician came. So I believe him. I'm sorry, I believe him. Great question. Shay Lowry says, I believe him. Think about it. If he had just made it and a dead body is there, what happens to Yale homicide to be locked up in a foreign country? He was quiet until he got back to the States. Knows by TV. I don't know what you mean. Do you agree with him or do you disagree with him? You said, I believe him. Think about it. If he had just made it and a dead body is there, who wants to yell homicide to be locked up in a foreign? Correct. And at the same time, though, too, who flies into a country to commit murder? Who spends money on a flight, a villa? He said ATVs. They're supposed to go boating, liquor. Who fly? Come on. These are not, be for real. These are not like international spies, you guys. These are kids. So you think they're flying 2,000 miles away to commit homicide? For fun? Probably not. He said, what state were they in? North Carolina, all the way to Mexico. That's 2,000 miles. These are not international spies, you guys. At least he isn't. Okay. For the most part, he flew in and flew home. I don't think that's how he intended on spending his birthday, you guys. Not his birthday. I don't believe that for a second. Okay. I don't believe for a second. I don't believe these are not the type of kids who just got money out of the wazoo, right? And he's just throwing money all over. I'm just going to go and commit homicide in Mexico. He's not. Come on. Come back down to reality. He didn't know what happened, right? He didn't know. He didn't fly into Mexico to commit homicide, you guys, and then fly home. Who spends $3,000 doing that? He's not James Bond. He walked in on a situation and then he left. It's that simple. They are kids. They are kids. They are children. These are not older adults with 401ks and pensions. These are kids who probably work a couple of jobs and save their money up to go on vacation. They're kids. They're not. Come on. This from Crystal said, I'm so confused on the timeline because she was dead the next day. Y'all are just letting this go over your heads. She was. So let me help you with the timeline because we've been here about 2 hours and I think we worked out something that makes sense. So one of the nosy bystanders in the chat said, did you catch the lighting in the villa? It was very yellowish. It looked like the morning, and it did. They're absolutely correct. It did look like the morning time. Okay. So it was very early in the morning. According to Quilla's mother, who last spoke with her on October 28th, they had tacos and drinks with a private chef. She hangs up the phone with her mom. They eat. They have a merry, happy evening. According to what we know, we don't know if an argument had ensued that night. The next morning, so imagine 6 a.m., that fight looked like it was happening very early in the morning. The fight breaks out. Nazir, this is him. He doesn't arrive until 12 noon on the 29th. So we're talking about 2 days, the 28th and the 29th. I know it sounds like it should be more, but it's only 2 days, you guys. And there's a lot going on in those 2 days. So he gets there at noon, and Quilla's already out of it. She's not dead, but she's not good. He's with her. We don't know for how long, right? He's with her. One of them calls the front desk at the hotel, and the hotel sends up a doctor. Okay. She gets pronounced dead at 1500. It was at 3 p.m. So he was only with her for a couple of hours before the doctor was called, and she was passed away. There's your timeline. That fight happened. I believe the fight happened on the 29th in the morning before he got there. I think it happened anywhere between 6 and 8 a.m. That's when I think that fight occurred, between 6 and 8 a.m. That's my personal opinion. That's what I think. He arrived the next day, the 29th. And I think the fight happened on the 29th. That's what I believe. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to follow it, but I feel like the evidence takes us there. I think the fight happened the morning before he arrived. That's what I think. This from Marcy. Marcy says, my thing is how they was gonna cook if he expected to go to dinner, because they were supposed to be there for, I think, 5 or 6 days. I think they got a private chef for one night, which is the night they arrived. And I think they were going to go and have excursions for the next 5 or so days. That's what. So he's talking about, I didn't get the private chef, is because he wasn't there on the 28th. He said, we're supposed to go out to dinner, we're supposed to go to ATV, we're supposed to get on the boat. That was going to happen throughout the whole week. Does that make sense? Joyce says, I got screenshots from Deja trying to monetize off of it. That is not her. That is a burner account trying to get followers. So I'm sorry. And thank you, Joy. This from Spacious Grace. Spacious Grace says, he came the next day and ignored the fact that her other friends were responsible. Put yourself in Quilla's shoes and be the one getting your head rubbed with a broken back dying. But she couldn't speak, Spacious Grace. So she couldn't even tell him what was occurring. That video did not drop till they got home. Remember, she had a neck injury, so she couldn't talk. And she was also really out of it. They told him it was alcohol poisoning. So he believed them. Because she's not talking. She's not speaking. I think a lot of people are failing to remember that. She wasn't there. She could not talk. She literally could not talk because of her neck injury. And the fact that she was really badly, she was very close to death. So he probably could have just asked her if she could speak what happened. And she probably would have said, they jumped me. But he didn't know that till he got home and that video surfaced on Facebook. Does that make sense? Okay. This is from Tovania. It's a big, thick one there. It says, all of our villa rentals, including a personal concierge. All of our villa rentals include a personal concierge. Their local expert will help plan and book all the restaurant reservations, activities, services, yacht charter, grocery priest, They will be at your residence to check you in and perform a walkthrough during the departure. This is probably from the villa, huh? Thank you for that. This from Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. Killam. It's a great last name. It is a great last name. I'm not making light of your last name. It's a great last name. Says, but he saw her face with bruises. Yeah, but he didn't know because she's not talking, you guys. If you saw her face with bruises and you said alcohol poisoning, he probably just assumed she fell on the side of the pool or something, like, does that make sense? If somebody is injured and they can't speak and the 5 other people are speaking, you're probably going to believe the 5 other people because he has no reason to doubt them. I think that's the part where we're like, I think we're everyone's missing that part. I think a lot of us are missing that part. He has no reason to doubt them. None. He has no reason to doubt them. He has no reason. He did not come there and be like, they're liars. He didn't think that. He's just like, what happened to her? Alcohol poisoning. Oh, dang, she really toe up. He's not going to be like, which one of y'all are lying? He's not thinking that. He's not thinking that. He's thinking, whatever they're telling me, it's probably the truth. You, us, me, we, the collective, we have questions, but put yourself in his shoes. If you arrive somewhere and someone is incoherent and there's 5 other coherent people, you're probably not going to lean on the incoherent person to give you all the facts and data. You're probably going to talk to the people who are standing there, coherent, alert. Those are the people you're going to lean on to figure out what's happening. So he came in there trusting everyone. He did not come in there thinking that they were murderous Neanderthals. Okay? He didn't come in there thinking it was murderous Neanderthals. This is from, is it Daria? I hope I'm saying that right. Says, why did he not notice her injuries? He did, you guys. He did. I don't know if a lot of you just arrived. He said, I saw her injuries. I noticed them. He said, I did notice them. He said it in his video. He noticed them. You guys, everything you're saying, he already answered. I noticed her injuries. He said, I did see the knot on her forehead when the doctor pointed it out. He said, but she had a busted lip and she had a blood vessel burst. But whatever they told him, he probably believed. You have to put yourself in his shoes. Just put yourself in his shoes as a trusting friend going to hang out with your friends. Just you guys are not putting yourself in his shoes. You're putting yourself in the shoes of a detective, which is great. It works out for me, but it doesn't work out for the benefit of the people involved. You got to put yourself in their position. What do you think they're thinking at that time? He's probably thinking a whole lot of stuff. He probably wants to ask Quilla tons of questions, but she's not coherent. So he has to lean on the only people who are coherent. Okay. Desiree says, I've had alcohol poisoning. I was responsive. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying his story. And you don't have to, but you're definitely wrong. And I'm sorry. You don't have to buy his story. It's not about buying his story. It's not a story to be sold. It's not a story to be sold. This from April says, so in the video, the person recording asked her, so you're not going to fight back? And someone says, no. Who said no? It sounded like, well, yes, it was her. She said no. She said no. Marcy says, they don't have hospitals with emergency rooms or ambulances. She could have been saved. She could have been. She could have been. But it's a private villa. Maybe that's why they have a doctor on standby, you know? You'd have to call the villa for that question, unfortunately. This is from Shavita says, my brother almost died from alcohol poisoning and had to go to the hospital. So everyone is different. Everyone is different, but she didn't have alcohol in her system. She was beat to death. She was beat to death. This from Her Smile says, he doesn't believe alcohol poisoning either. No, he doesn't. Not after the autopsy report. I wouldn't either. It literally says there's no alcohol in her system. Jay Goody says, he didn't think the friends would do anything to harm her, so he believed them. Exactly. Exactly. Precisely. You're right. You're right. This is from Cherie. Cherie, what's up, girl? How you doing? Says, it's a lot of new people in here. I've been watching Chief since TikTok, and I know for a fact she don't play about the truth. You better tell him, Cherie. You better tell him. I don't play about the truth over here. I don't. It's because it'll set you free. I will set you free. This is from Gorge. What's up, Gorge? Says, I'm currently on Twitter and see a couple of disturbing tweets. Did you run across her Twitter? Whose Twitter? She knew other people were using her and she knew she had haters. Child, send them over. Send over the tweets. We here. We live. Hold on. Oh, this is what everybody was tagging me in? I was wondering. I said, what is going on Twitter? My Twitter is jumping. Okay, hold on. No, tag me. Gorge, tag me, girl. Here's our Twitter account. Hold on. This is our Twitter. Nosy Bystanders. No, that's not it. It's the same name. It's our Twitter. Nosy Bystanders. We're nosy. Okay. Okay, send it over, girl. I want to read them. Okay, this is from Statement 92. Hey, Statement says, I think someone sent the video to someone else, and that's how it got leaked. I believe that as well. I believe that. I believe it. I believe somebody sent it to someone else. Heck yeah. Spacious Gracious says, it's not right that he believed them. That's fishy AF. This case is kind of like Kanika Jenkins. It's not right that he believed him. Those are his friends. At least presumably. Why wouldn't he believe them? Why would he have a reason to not believe them? Is my question to you, Spacious. What reason would he have to not believe them? There is none. He has every right to believe them. He has every right to believe them. Until their story started getting weird. Until the story started getting weird. Yep. And yes, you're saying my name right. Gorge? Okay. Is your name Keisha? Is this you? Is this you on Twitter? Keisha? It's not letting me open this thread. It's not letting... Why? Hold on. Nick says, why is she dead? Because they beat her. Did you see the video? Honey, they beat her. Okay. Hold on one second. This from Kelly Francis says, Nosy Bystanders TV. Nosy Bystanders TV. She said it twice so I could see it. I feel like he's telling the truth because he really liked Quinta. Like, you can hear in his voice that he genuinely cared about her and he wouldn't let none of that crap go down in his presence. I agree. I don't know the nature of their relationship, but he definitely sounded like he cared about her as a friend, at least, at minimum. I believe that. This is from Shay Lowry. How am I saying that right? Lowry? How do you say your last name? Says, I always ask myself, why were they on that side of the room looking in the video? Only one side of the bed is messed up. On the other side, she's sleeping. Oh, which closest to the window. I think she was sleeping naked and they woke her up to fight her. Deja has on her pajamas and a bonnet, so the morning fight theory might make sense. I wish I could play that video, but it's so graphic, I can't play it. Oh, I don't know if I believe this. Oh. I didn't get your message. I'm sorry, I didn't get your Gorge, I never got your tweet. I'm sorry. Oh, you guys, I follow everybody back. I hope y'all don't mind, but I do. I didn't get your tweet, Gorge, but you're right. She was wearing a bonnet, wasn't she? She was wearing a bonnet. So she's wearing a bonnet. So the fight happened in the morning. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Okay, you guys? We're getting the timeline together because the timeline helps me. It helps me find evidence. So the timeline is crucial. Okay, I know we spent a lot of time working on this timeline. We spent over 2.5 hours together. I appreciate you, new nosy bystanders. See, it pays to be nosy. So now that we have the timeline, the fight did happen the morning before he arrived. You're right. Yep. Yep. It was in the morning. It wasn't the day before. It was the same day. That means something happened last night. Something happened at that dinner. Something happened at that taco dinner. Something happened at that taco dinner that the private chef made them. Something happened. Something happened. It didn't happen in the morning because they had just woke up. No one's tussling like that bright and early in the morning unless something happened the night before. That's right. I'm nosy. I'm very nosy. He probably went home. He cooked dinner. He goes home, you know? Something happened after those tacos. They got some cocktails. Something. We're getting so close. So now, come on, let's continue to work this theory that we might have to move over to tomorrow, y'all, because I'll give y'all about 30 more minutes. Okay, so breaking point, timeout. We got the theory. Let's just put the timeline together and call a buck, okay? So they arrive to Cabo on the 28th, okay? They get all settled in. They sign into the villa. They're having a grand old time. Now, what I find weird is there's no pictures of them arriving to Cabo. That's weird. There's none. There's no pictures of them on the plane. There's no pictures of them arriving to the villa. There's nothing. There's nothing. So they get to the villa. They get all ready. The evening's coming. The chef comes in because that's what they get that. It's part of their package. The chef comes in. He makes them tacos. They're eating. They're drinking. Quilla calls her mom and lets her know that we're having cocktails and tacos. Her mom says, okay, have a good night. Click. Last time the mom hears from her. Something happened between, let's say, 9 p.m. Central. I don't know, Pacific. I don't really know where Cabo is. It's either Central or Pacific. No, it's either Central or Mountain. I don't know which one it is. It's either Central or Mountain. So let's just say Mountain. And then, no, it would be Pacific. So it's Pacific time though. Something happened between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. Something. They were arguing about something. And then Nazir, arrives at 12 noon. She's already toast. She's already toast. So we got to figure out what happened. We got to figure out what happened between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Because we don't know if they got into an altercation that night and continued it into the morning. You understand what I mean? We don't know. But she was in bed, in pajamas, in a bonnet. So there's no way that they were fighting that night, physically fighting, definitely arguing, but not physical. Because who's going to put a bonnet on when you got a broken neck? Something happened. Let me get some of your comments. This is from Santana. What's up, Santana? Says they could have posted the video and pictures of them arriving on Cabo on Snap. It would have been deleted by now. You're right. They do look like Snapchat users. I know people still use Snapchat, but great synopsis. This is from Meek Pearson says, so she's with a group of people who don't like her. She doesn't know that. No one is her friend. No one is friends with her. Definitely not. So darn, how personal was the situation that happened between these non-friends that made her get while others watched? That's what we're here to figure out. As more evidence comes in, it helps us build this theory up. These are live streamed investigations. That's really what they are. But we're gonna get there, Meek. So we're gonna get there. This is from Asia. Is it Asha or is it Asia? Asia says, there's Aisha. Aisha says they planned that beforehand. A normal person would have took photos as they arrived. Why would they leave less than 24 hours after arriving? Because I guess there was like really nothing for them to do. And I'm not saying this as a defense for them, but it's like the coroner has the body. So what are you going to do? Stick around? You're probably just going to go home. And rightfully so. You know, you're probably just going to go home. What are you sticking around for? Santana says they could have posted the video and pictures on Snap. Oh, yeah, I read that. Thank you. I'm sorry. I feel like I just read that. Yeah. This from China Lee. What's up, China? Says on Google, it says October 29th. The sunrise is 6:23 a.m. So about 9 hours of being untreated. I got to screenshot that. Come on, darn it. Oh, darn it. Okay, I got it. Let me screenshot this. I hope y'all didn't hear that. Yes. So about 9 hours. No, 6 hours, because remember he arrived at noon. No, you're right. 9 hours because she died at 3. 9 hours of untreated wounds. They tortured her. They tortured the eyeballs. Yes, honey. She Googled the sunrise, honey. She Googled the sunrise on October 29th. Honey, they let her. Child, they let her go. Wow. Yeah, 9 hours of excruciating pain. She would have survived had they called the hospital. No, she wasn't. He stated she was alive. She was alive, you guys, when he arrived. She just wasn't doing good. She was in her last hours. So she was unresponsive. He said she was unresponsive, but she wasn't dead because he probably was checking her breathing. She was definitely breathing and she was definitely alive. She was alive, but she just couldn't talk and she probably couldn't do a whole lot. But I believe him. I don't think she died before he got there. I think it happened 3 hours as he was taking care of her. And then the doctors came. You understand what I mean? She was already gone. By the time he got there, she was already gone, you guys. She was already gone. Exactly. Where's that comment at? Mika said the nurse came in after him. She's right. The nurse came in right after him. That's right. Because she was already gone. She was too far gone. And it was probably him who did it, who told them, we got to get her some help. You understand what I mean? Because he said, I was nursing her. He was taking care of her. He was nursing her. He was playing music. He was trying to soothe her. He was rubbing her back. He was just like she was not responsive. He probably told him, we have to get her some help. There's something wrong with her. But by the time the doctor came, she was already gone completely. What's up, Yada says, they beat her way after the camera was cut. Exactly. It's from Tiffany Johnson. Hello, Tiffany. Says, I get the girls who beat her not calling, but it's these guys there. Nobody checked on her. Nobody had the courage to call just in case. Yes, something ain't adding up. No, you're right. They're definitely guilty. They're definitely guilty of something. What that something is, I'm not entirely sure, but we're working on it. I appreciate that. This is from Courtney. Courtney says she was dying. She was. Limitless says, no, this was from someone who was there. What was from someone who was there? What? What was from someone who was there? What? You said this. What is this? Please be specific. This is from Regina. What's up, Regina? Says, I really think one of the guys did something to her that girl came in. It was her boyfriend, and she fought that baby. You think Quilla was sleeping with one of the guys there? And one of the guys was dating one of the girls? Do you think that's what occurred? Expand on your theory for us, Regina, so we can kind of get a working theory of what because Facebook allows you guys to expand on your you can have a longer comment. So please feel free to let us know what you're thinking. This is from Christina Gent Rowe. I like that name. Says, can you hit someone with your fist that hard to break their neck and spine? It wasn't broken. It was fractured. But yes, you can. Or did they hit her with something? I think she was jumped. I don't think it was just one person fighting her. It just feels like it was more than one person. I don't know. It's just an opinion, but I don't know. But yes, you could definitely hit someone hard enough. You definitely can. This is from Nisha. Nisha says, I sent you a link of her IG in regards to something about Quilla's mother after they came back to the States. You said I sent you a link on your IG in regards to the other coming around. Okay, I can check it. Just give me 1 second. What is your name on IG, Nisha? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's a YouTube video. We can't watch this. I'll have to watch it after our live stream. I cannot play anyone else's YouTube video on my live stream or they'll take it down. But I will definitely take a look at this after. And I appreciate that. Thank you. This is from Victorious. Virtuous? Is it Virtuous Eatery? I'm sorry, Virtuous. like virtuosity. Says, why are people so willing to believe Nas killed her when he was the one who is coming forward with information and he wasn't the one who would fight her? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I don't believe he did anything. I think he gave us the most evidence. He's helped us put the timeline together. So I believe Nas is innocent completely. And I think that people need to leave him alone, put on their thinking caps, and be for real. If they did what we were doing, they'd get the timeline, because we got the timeline, baby. That fight happened at 6 o'clock in the morning. For sure. For sure. It happened the same day he arrived. The fight occurred, and then his flight comes in at noon. She had 9 hours of excruciating pain, and those 6 other people did not call the doctor, and he was doing his best. Nazir is going based off of what people are telling them, that it's alcohol poisoning. You understand what I mean? If he knew her injuries were that severe, I don't think he would have just allowed her to just be laying there. He probably would have taken her to a hospital. He did not know anything, and I think you're right, Virtuous Eatery. He is definitely innocent. This one, Sasha says, it didn't matter why they were fighting. They did what they did, and she died, and that's effed up, and it left that man to take the blame. But he trying to protect them and himself. Now he's done effed up. So yeah, because you're right, Sasha. Now, the only part I don't like is when he made the statement, it's deeper than that. Deeper than what, sir? What's going on? I think he made that statement because I think it is deeper. But at the same time, though, I also think that he's afraid for his safety, because he doesn't know these people. He knows these people, but he don't know them. He don't know them like he thought he knew them, and so he's probably like, he's probably just trying to lay low. So when he says it's deeper than that, I believe him. But also, we have to be mindful of his safety, you guys. There are 5 people out there who have engaged in very illicit activity, and that leads to the death of a woman, and he's the only witness. Okay, so he's more than likely trying to protect himself until the police get involved and he can really tell them what's going on for some protection. This from Dominique says he's the only one talking if he is in charge. He made up the story. He's the only one talking as if he's in charge. Oh, Dominique, no. Mm-mm. This is not it. Okay, this is not it. Because he's talking doesn't mean he's in charge. You have preconceived notions of what you think charge looks like, and this is not it. He's speaking because he's innocent, and he sounds like he's trying to clear his name. That's what it sounds like. There is no evidence. There is zero evidence that this man Nazir, because these are his DMs, this man Nazir has anything to do with this, unless, Dominique, you are able to prove he owns a time machine. Can you prove that? Can you prove he owns a time machine? Or a teleportation device of some sort? Can you prove that? Because there's no way for him to have physically been there during that fight that occurred in the wee hours of the morning in Cabo while he was still boarding planes. Unless you can prove he has a time machine, I'm going to go ahead and take your theory and I'm going to throw it out. Okay? Because I don't know if you can prove time travel is real. But I appreciate your efforts. This is from Soso. Soso said they went to Mexico because they knew they could get away with it there. You can't get away with murder in Mexico, you guys. That's not how that works. Mexico is an ally to the U.S., which means we own tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of treaties and deals with Mexico. So if the United States says, I'm going to extradite someone from or to there, they're going to do it. Mexico is not a lawless land. We don't live in the Wild West, you guys. Mexico is not the Wild West, and definitely not a corporate, capitalistic resort town. Okay, it's probably the least of the Wild West. Okay, they didn't commit this crime in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. They committed a crime on corporate, probably owned by the Hilton, if we're going to be for real, okay? But that's not, this ain't that, okay? So I apologize to you, so Chantel, but this ain't that. This is from K Pelham says, they're saying Khalil was the one who told her to fight back. Possibly. Unless we got a different video. That's a theory, and I'm okay with taking it. Thank you. This from Tyler says, Knows Bystanders TV. Were the friends around when he was sitting with her? He didn't state it, but I'm assuming they were in the vicinity. It's a very big villa, you guys. So it's possible they were coming in and out of the room, checking in on her and checking in on him. You know, it's possible, but he didn't state it because it wasn't really important to him. It was really important to share the part of how he was taking care of Quilla. But no, he didn't make reference to that. This from Rivera. Rivera says, no. When they went to the mom's house, they all said the same thing, that it was alcohol poisoning. I know that. Rivera, Kiera Rivera. I know that until that fight video came out. Now remember, Nazir was not there for the fight video. And that fight video did not emerge until sometime in early November. I think November 8th or something, when that fight video first made its way to the internet. He didn't know there was an altercation. He didn't know. So if he and the friends are telling the mom it's alcohol poisoning, he probably believed that as well. He probably believed it as well till that fight video came out, and then he started to ask questions. Okay. This from Shay says, it's only deeper because who wants to be locked up for murder in Mexico? The only thought next was to get home. Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah. But don't matter because they still get extradited. Because Mexico is our ally. And if Mexico says they want them, the United States of America is going to deliver them. Because we don't say no to stuff like that. We are expendable to the federal government. Whose side do you think the United States is going to take? Mexico, one of their biggest trading allies, or a bunch of knucklehead kids beating people over the border? Probably their trading allies. And if the consulate in Mexico says we want those kids so we can extradite them here so they can serve trial, the United States is going to deliver those kids. It's that simple. So even if the kids made it home, it don't matter. Mexico still has jurisdiction over that case. It's an international case. It's international. Those kids go on the run. It's Interpol's problem. Okay, but good point. Good point. This is from Tamra. Hello, Tamra. Tamra says, however, I must have missed the first part before you got to the however. However, Tamra says, he said he noticed her lips and her eye when he went to check her face. Why wouldn't he say what had happened to her face? Because it probably didn't mean anything for someone with alcohol poisoning. If somebody said they had alcohol poisoning, it's safe to assume they're stumbling and bumbling and hurting themselves. That's not out of the ordinary. I don't know. I want to let you guys know that. It's not out of the ordinary, okay? So it probably didn't look out of the ordinary. It probably didn't. You know, it just didn't. I'm not concerned about the bumps, okay? I don't want to cherry pick his story. His story is authentic and it's real. This is from Candy. Nice thick comment you got right there, Candy. Candy says, you could also be unresponsive for 15 to 20 minutes and die because when you're unresponsive, your muscles are totally relaxed and your tongue can block your airway. Unless you're in a medical field and know what to do with unresponsive persons, you can pass away in 15, 20 minutes. I totally agree, except he arrived at the villa at noon and there is her death certificate. She died at 3. She was definitely responsive in some regard. Okay. She was responsive in some regard for at least 3 hours while he was taking care of her. So I believe this to be true. I believe you, Kenny, that to be true, but it's not true for this instance. If you watch that fight video, whoever commented that, thank you. They were definitely wearing bonnets and the sun was definitely rising. That was a morning fight and it happened before he arrived. But yes, I believe your sentiments. You're absolutely correct. This is from Brock Flowers. Rock says, I think if he honestly thought that she was doing as bad as she would if he would have done more or tried to do more. He did. He did. I think he did the best he could. I think they all came to a consensus that they need to call the concierge to get um the doctor up there. Nobody else called. He probably was the one who called. Or they all as a collective, and he probably had one of the other girls call, like, call the front desk and get some help up here. But they all as a collective called. Yes. This from Trevor. Trevor says they beat her bad and didn't expect her to be seriously injured in such a short in such sort. They can't get their story straight. Why nobody's coming forward? You're correct. You're absolutely correct. You're correct. It's really sad too. It's just like a sad, it's a sad story. David said, y'all going deep on this case, huh? Well, sometimes you got to get the truth. Sometimes you got to. I'm gonna read a couple more comments and then we're gonna be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. But let me get to a couple more of your comments. Thank you for the comment, David. I appreciate it. This from Spacious Grace says, the friend made it seem like it wasn't serious. That's why it happened like this. They were looking for ways out. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. You guys are all right, except some of the naysayers who came in here and don't worry, I'm not too worried about them. This from Tiffany Johnson says, I get him taking care of her, but at the 30 minutes and nothing changed, I'm calling for help anyways because of simple fact, I don't know what to do. Yeah, but you can't use that supposition for everyone, right? So that's you. And if they're telling him it's alcohol poisoning, he's probably like, okay, she'll just she'll sleep it off, she'll this off. But it came to a point where they're like, we got to call somebody. You know what I mean? We got to call somebody. But you're right. But everyone is different. You don't know till you're in that situation. And he didn't know because he didn't think he'd be flying into that situation. Do you understand what I mean? He didn't know. So I don't want to blame him for things I don't want to blame him for things that he didn't know. You cannot prepare for flying in on your birthday to find your friend half dead. You can't prepare for that. What you would do is different, but you don't know what's going to happen because you can't see the future. Okay. You can't. And you can't use how your reaction is going to work as a broad stroke for everyone else. You just can't do it. It's impossible. I'm sure philosophers have tried for eons to figure that out, but you can't. You don't know. In a split hair decision, you don't know what's going to happen. You're just like, oh my God, my friend's half dead. What am I supposed to do? You don't know. So what you would do is not the same as him, and you can't judge him because he didn't react on your pre-positioned, planned scenario. Okay, come on, like cut him some slack. It was his birthday of all days, and you find your friend half dead. Cut him some slack. He didn't know what to do. He's a kid. He didn't know what to do. He's in a foreign country. The half dead corpse laying next to him. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. What he's supposed to do. Let me call Tiffany up and see what she was going to do when this scenario. Okay, he doesn't know. I mean, I feel like it's because like we put so much added pressure on like, oh, this is what I would do. This is what I would do. Because we watch so much true crime, right? We always have these scenarios playing in our head. And then we wonder, well, I want to did that. You don't know. I'm sure you're not dreaming about laying next to corpses on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't know. I'm just saying. This is from David, full name. You might be Hebrew. Says it was his birthday, October 29th. That's my birthday. That is your birthday. You're Scorpio. That's right. I always forget that. Ciao. Now everybody knows your real name and your birthday. Give them your social security number too. This is from Shay says, just because the flight landed at 12 doesn't mean he maxed to the villa at that time. Exactly. Have to go through customs, receive luggage, and actually drive to the villa. I'm assuming he made it there an hour or a few before she actually died. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Shay. Shay, you and I are here today, okay? I'm going to be leaning heavily on you for all of your synopsises because they're Impeccable. Shout out to Shay. This from Candy says, I understand another theory when I'm on vacation with my friends. We stay up late drinking and party and don't get up until noon and start all over. That can be possibly just because they had on bonnets don't mean it was early in the morning. And also me going to Cabo, it's sunny like that all the time unless it rains. Not saying that he wasn't there or wasn't. Yeah, and that's understandable. But I think the only reason why I believe that the fight happened in the morning is because Shay said it herself, or Shay's mother said it herself. She called her on the 28th at night, eating tacos and having cocktails with her friends. So we know it didn't happen on the 28th. We know that. Because if Shay could talk, she would have told her mother that night on the 28th when they arrived, I just got beat up. So we know it didn't happen on the 28th. We know that it didn't happen on 20. It had to have happened on the 29th. And we know that it happened in the morning because he arrived there sometime, as Shay says here, between 12 and 1. Let's just respectively give him that 12 and 1 o'clock. So it didn't happen after he got there because she was already too far gone because there's her death certificate. So we only have a little window of time and we can go based off the video. That fight occurred in the morning. I know it's sunny all the time, but they arrived there on the 28th during the day and afternoon, had dinner, called her mother. You see how I'm putting a timeline together? Went to bed, woke up in the morning, got into an altercation, and then he arrived. The time span is so tight, it leaves no room for error. There's no room for error. We got no room for error. It's that tight. So anything that would have occurred between 6:23 a.m. and 12 noon is when that fight had to have occurred. So that's a 6-hour window. We know it's a 6-hour window because the sun was up. We also know it's a 6-hour window because his flight had arrived. So we know for a fact that fight occurred anywhere in that time. You see how working that timeline helps us kind of specify what was going on. See, there you go. This is from Special to Speak to Heal. Says it would be crazy if someone else comes forward and says that the group of friends go on vacation and someone doesn't come back, kind of like a pattern. Girl, that sound like a book. That sounds scary too. This is from Tamara. Tamara says, where's a report from the nurse? I don't think they have one. Got to look the coroner's notes. He's the only one who would have it. I know he said a woman nurse came. What did the nurse say? She just gave her fluids. That's all we know. You'd have to go and get the report from the coroner's notes. Again, that these are coroner's notes questions. He said, then he said the maids found her slumped over. That is what they told him. That is not what he witnessed. That is what they told him. Okay. So I want to make that abundantly clear. When he made the statement, the maids found her slumped over the toilet, half dead. That is what the friends told him. That is not what he witnessed. Okay. Those are two different things. Plus, there's accusations that that has nothing to do with this case. That is isolated incident from somewhere else. We always believe the victim, but that's another story. Again, I'm not saying he's guilty, but for you to believe he's squeaky clean, woo. On this early into the investigation. Okay, so Tamra, so everything you said was wrong. Everything you said was wrong. And I'm telling you now, if I were to be accused of a crime and you're on the jury, I will be terrified for my life. I will be terrified for my life. The fact that you would have your hands, my life would be in your hands. I'd be scared. I would be scared. The way that you made these weird juxtapositions and to immediately assume that he's guilty based off of these weird juxtaposing is what you're doing. You're juxtaposing. It's weird because none of them have anything to do with the story. When we laid out the accurate timeline, somehow you have put together this weird scenario that doesn't make sense. Him being accused of the R wording an ex-classmate has nothing to do with this unless that classmate was there. He stated to you that they told them that a maid, he told you, they told me a maid found her slumped over. If he arrived at noon, there would be no maid there. Okay? So he would have never seen a maid. And again, it means you didn't listen to what he was saying at all. Because the concierge never mentioned a maid. The concierge said, we sent a doctor. We didn't send a maid. We definitely didn't send a nurse. We sent a doctor to the villa. So, whatever this is, please don't think like that again. Please don't think like that. That is the worst way to think. If you are going to judge people based off of scenarios you obviously didn't research, scenarios and claims that other people are making that aren't founded. We don't even know where this girl comes from. You always believe the victim when it comes to SA allegations, but you still have to investigate. Do you see how that works? If I told you I was a victim of SA, I would hope you believe me, but I would hope you help me investigate it. So because somebody just makes an off-putting statement somewhere on the internet, you have to investigate. You have to believe her, but you have to investigate. The fact that you just immediately said he's guilty, ex-classmate. I have no idea who it is. I don't know when this scenario of SA occurred. I don't even know if he even was convicted of it. But he did it. Your thinking scares me, terrifies me. It does. And I'm not going to lie, it does. It terrifies me. I hope you never get served with jury duty with thinking like that. You would potentially ruin somebody's life because you've taken all the evidence, you've completely thrown it away, and you've decided to make your own suppositions on how you decided to convict someone. And that's scary because that is not how the legal system is supposed to work at all. So Tamika, good luck to you. I wish you the best. I hope that you stick around and listen to more of our videos. I really do. I think you could learn a thing or two when it comes to building up stories and scenarios and using the scientific method to apply your hypothesis and get your data and come to your conclusion. I hope you do. I hope you don't have that kind of thinking anymore in the future because that is dangerous thinking. It is very dangerous. It's very bad for your mental health and it's dangerous for other people. And it's really scary to read out loud. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. The way that I read that, I was frightened by it because I can't believe that someone would think that. So, but good luck to you. And I do wish you the best. I really hope you stick around. You know, we're pretty smart over here, but not with that thinking. You're going to have to open your brain because you're going to have to think for yourself. I can't think for you, but I can help you. This from April says, seriously, people are emotional and making things up. Y'all, I promise there's more to the story and we don't have enough information to be the judge and jury. April, thank you. Thank you. You said it. I couldn't have said it better myself. I couldn't have said it better myself. I literally could not have said it better myself. Thank you, April, because yeah, that's sad. But look, you guys, that's all I got. Okay. Sorry, wrong screen. That's all I got. Okay. Shout out to April for giving us the final closing remark. I appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're also going to be live on our Roku network for live stream, and we're going to be going over these details in depth. We already know more evidence is going to be coming out, so we're going to do 2 live streams here on YouTube and 1 on Roku. I already put the link in my bio. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, here at the Nosy Bystanders live. I sure hope you guys come back. I sure hope you like me. I'm pretty nice sometimes. But I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. You guys have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you guys later. And it's good to see all these new faces. Okay? Bye-bye.